Hey guys. How we doing? Go ahead and pull up. Oh, we got a new sub while we were in the last 10 minutes or whatever. Welcome. Welcome to the new people. Let's see. We've got Rude Crab, the rudest crab. We've got Nicody. Tardy to his own party. No, I'm not. I'm right on time. I'm actually early. I wasn't even going to go live till 5. I was going to make you guys wait. As Varun. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Michelle says, yo, tell that to Hornet. He's permanently delayed. Is that real? Poor Hornet. Rip. Oh, did you guys hear that yawn? Okay, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. We got the boy. His flea meds are coming in today. Who's got his flea meds coming in? Oh, it's you, huh? Mr. Flea Meds. Mr. Scratchy, huh? Poor guy. Well, good to see you guys. I have, he's always late. Oh, Hornet. Yeah. Well, I set my clocks early because I know I'm always late. The time stated at 4:39 p.m. Well, that's when I clicked. That's when I created the broadcast. Rude Crab says, I'm never late, though, so I'll say what the fuck I want. Damn. Fleester. Fleester. Not the Fleester. Not the Fleester wiener. I know you didn't. You didn't. Oh, you're talking to Crab. By the way, for those who were not here yesterday, did you notice a new thing we have? We can see your YouTube avatars. Isn't that fancy? And there's even a little wrench icon for the mods. And Cody says that's not how it's done? What's not how it's done? I'm confused. What even are you guys on about? This is not the law of equivalent exchange. That's true. Should I watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? I've seen Full Metal Alchemist. It was good. But isn't Brotherhood just the same thing? Just it's basically the same thing. Isn't it the same thing just over again? I don't know if I can go for that ride again. 3 minutes, I'm here. Does that make what was the dumb title again? I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about half the time. What I do know is that you should like the stream and give me a second to make an announcement. Everyone, OMG, we're back again. Are you turning into a boomer? You set the time the thing starts, not the time you set the notification. I didn't set any time. I just created the broadcast. I didn't set it. I didn't schedule it for later. I just created it. That's all I did. And it just selected the time that I created. So I didn't set any time. Drugs, man. Not yet. Not yet. My drugs will be here tomorrow, though. My drugs will be delivered to me tomorrow. I will be receiving my... Excuse me, sir. I will be receiving my Adderall. Brotherhood is the same story with some better edits. Okay. No. Well, I have a bunch of stuff lined up today, if you can believe it. Growling says, Ryan, how do you boil an egg? How do I boil an egg? Let's ask AI. Uh-oh. Chat broke already? What'd you guys do? Short Stack says, I'd recommend Brotherhood for new watchers, but watching if you saw the first is basically a rewatch. Yeah. A schedule without a time? This sounds like nonsense. I opened up OBS. I clicked Manage Broadcast. I created a broadcast. And that was it. That's all I did. I didn't schedule it. I just created the broadcast. Oh, maybe Streamlabs does it slightly differently. But like regular OBS, that's just how it works. Stop. We're not doing this all day today. I'm going to have roast weenies if you keep it up. Well, that's why I set the time for you. You have to set a time and a date. Well, again, it just defaulted to like the immediate. I'm not that worried about it. I planned on going live within like 20 minutes anyway. I'm sorry you guys all had to wait for me though. It must have been really grueling. Clearly, because you're all so upset about it. Growling says Brotherhood is better for new watchers. Well, I'm not a new watcher. I've already seen it. Hey, Dennison. Speaking of new watchers, hey, if you're new here on here, click the subscribe button. But I doubt you are. I think most of you are probably seasoned Radical Coder fans. I would imagine. Who hopefully have liked the stream. Did you like the stream? Umbreon eats likes. He does. He does indeed eat likes. Yes, for you. Yes, for him. Umbreon wins these polls like 90% of the time. But once in a while, I come out ahead. Nicody says, I'm eating sketty. I love that for you. Are you wearing the same shirt twice in a row? Ew. Well, I have a couple of these, so I guess you'll never know. I can't believe you're blaming OBS for your lack of time specificity. That's right. Well, I'm certainly not going to take responsibility. So, Growling asked how to boil an egg. So you bring your eggs to a gentle boil, then simmer for 7 to 12 minutes, and then cool them in ice water. Obviously. Duh, nerd. Come on. It's so easy. And if you do it for 7 minutes, you'll get a jammy center, if you're into that. Jammy Center would be a cute name for like a pajama store, wouldn't it? Like Jammy Center. God's favorite aunt says you can make hard-boiled eggs by baking them. Is that so? I guess that makes sense. How long would you bake them for? Is that basically what those little hard-boiled egg maker things are? They're just like little tiny ovens. Puts on MAGA hack. Typical leftist. Use vinegar in the water if you're boiling. It makes them easier to peel. I've heard that. Artie Stock, welcome, says, have you been keeping up with Destiny drama slop? Not really. Not really. Do you even code, bro? Let's find out. Let's do a coding bat exercise. Let's do it in Python. Let's see. Can you guys see it? Let me. Here. All right, so we got a little logic puzzle here called Make Chocolate. We want to make a package of goal kilos of chocolate. So goal is going to be an input. We have a small bar that's a kilo each and big bars that are 5 kilos each. And we're going to return the number of small bars to use, assuming we always use big bars before small bars. Okay. So let's see. We make chocolate. Like one example, we'll be making chocolate with 4 small bars and 1 big bar. And we want to make 9 kilos. So let's see. Okay. So let's start with like turn the number of small bars to use. So we want to start. Okay. So we use the big bars first. Let's see if I can remember how to do a problem like this. It's been a minute. Is that the new sub? It might be. It might be. Oh, look at all these people. Libby Warrior, good to see you. God's favorite aunt says I use a muffin tin. Vibe says I throw mine in the rice cooker while cooking rice. Interesting. That's an idea. It's okay, Libby. You can yell here. It might be the new sub. Yeah, I think I already answered. If you do Hello World as verification, I'm unsubbing. No, that's not what we're doing. This one might take us. Okay, let's see. I think this is simpler than a. Well, God's favorite aunt. You're giving it away. I mean, God's favorite aunt just like gave the solution. So, I mean, it's literally return. Can you do a in Python? Can you do the what's it called? The ternary operator? I don't think so. If goal mod big. Well, let's just print out goal mod big. Goal mod big. Let's just see what that does. Or we'll return it. Return goal. So we should see that result. Or I meant the integer will be a float. Well, wait. Why would you get a float from a mod? What are you even talking about? Now that I'm reading your answer again, thinking about it more. If we mod the result's always going to be an integer, right? Hornet is late. We always use big bars before small bars. So, wait, it should be, let's see, small, or rather goal mod 5. Because the big bars are 5. And that should give us how many small bars we need, right? Close. Does it return? I don't know why it would return a decimal. I mean, I guess it could in some cases. In some like weird. I'm not even sure. Maybe if you like gave it a decimal. I'm not even. Yeah. It's Python. The result will be float for float inputs. Oh, for float input. Yeah, exactly. For float inputs. But like none of these are going to be float inputs. Like we're assuming. I'm pretty sure we're assuming these are always going to be integers. Coders learning how to code. I'm teaching you guys how to code. So what mod does, for those who don't know, is it gives you, it does division basically, and then gives you the remainder. So if goal is 9, then goal divided by 5 would be 1 with a remainder of 4, which is why it gives us 4 here, which is correct. But then in this case, 10 divided by 5 is 2, so there's no remainder. So I see. So if let's say result gets goal mod 5, let's say all the ones that failed are 0 or are negative 1. So result equals goal mod 5. If goal mod, or if result equals 0, return negative 1, return result. All right? Uh-oh. What's my syntax wrong? Is it this? What did I do wrong? Learn to brood. Look at all these great people here. Learn to frog. True. Hey, Jelly. I don't need to use floats. What are you talking about? I don't think so. I see what you're saying, but like that would be for division. Like the mod will give us an integer that represents the number of small bars we need. Or it should. Return, okay, we only return -1 if it can't be done. So if result is 0, I'm sorry, I see. If the result is 0, then we're good. We can return 0. So in most cases, we should just return result. But let's see. This is 4. What is it? Small. We have 1 big bar. Ah, I see. I think we kind of want to loop through, right? I don't think the mod is actually the move here. Because okay, so in this, the one we got wrong here. Wait, can you guys see the solutions? Oh, you can't see the full page. I'm sorry. Look. So like in this case right now, this is fun, by the way. I'm actually really excited that we're doing this. This is totally not what I have on the docket. I actually have a bunch of videos to watch, but this is a fun warm up. So basically, what we want to do. We don't want to just use mod, because we need to like remove the number from the goal. Wait, are you guys, maybe the whole float thing, maybe you're saying we should like cast, if we cast the goal to a float, then we could, that still seems like overkill. What are we doing? Someone asked if I could code, so I pulled up a website called Coding Bat that I really like, and I picked one of their like, I mean, it's not really like a hard challenge, but it's like it's a more complicated one than their very basic challenges. So yeah, I'm playing teacher a little bit. I think what we could do is this. We could say, while, maybe not while, if goal is less than 5, or is greater than 5. Let's say result gets 0. If goal is greater than 5 and big is greater than 0. And he's failing at it. I am failing, I guess. I'm distracted. So if the goal is greater than 5, then that means we can use a big bar. And so we have to check if we have any big bars, which is why big has to be greater than 0 as well. So if the goal is greater than 5 and we have more than 0 big bars, then we can say goal gets goal minus 5 and big gets big minus 1. Right? And let's just see how that plays out. So return, we're going to return goal big. Can we do that in Python? Cool. Let's say while goal is greater than 5 and big is greater than 0. Let's do that again. Okay. So now, let's see, if we just return goal here, this should solve most of them, right? Oh, greater than or equal to 5, and big is greater than or equal to 0. Maybe that's it, because we're infinite looping. There we go. Much better. I want an AI haunted house. We'll work on it. Learn French with Mimi. Maybe. So look, we got a lot of them now. So in this case, it came out with 0 because we don't have enough. if goal is still greater than is still greater than is it still greater than 5? Wait, if we have small bars. Okay, let's look at the specific example. We have 4 small bars, 1 big bar, so that's 9. Okay, so wait, I got an idea, a good check. So if goal is greater than small plus big times 5, return -1. Otherwise, we do this thing, and we return the goal. Look at that, we're almost there. A bunch of greens. Because if this equation's true, if the goal is greater than, use parentheses just for cleanliness, because this should give us the total that we can make with our small and big bars. And then this eats the big bars. So let's look at the case where it still fails. Expected -1. Oh, I'm sorry, here. Expects -1. We have 1 small bar, 2 big bars. Oh, I see. So if at this point goal is greater than small, we'd return -1. Otherwise, we would return goal. Oh, almost there. Almost there. So there's less that are still bad. It's my dog. It's Umbreon. Umbreon's whining. Always whining. I know, I'm still missing some -1s. Like here. Well, actually, no. Am I? No. I think we've got all the -1s. We've got all the -1 cases are solved now. So the next case that's broken is right here. So there's 6 small bars, 1 big bar. So that would be 11. Oh, return goal. Return goal. Wait, it should just be goal, right? What did we get here? It returns 0. But it wants 5. Why is it returning? So let's like walk through this, okay? So there's 6 small, 1 big. So goal is greater. So we're good here. It checks that one. Goal is greater than or equal to 5 because it's 10. And big is greater than or equal to 0 because it's 1. So goal gets goal -5. So the goal goes down to 5. And big goes down to 0. Oh, maybe it should be big is greater than 0. There we go. Look at all that green. Look at all that green. Who said I can't code? That's actually a really ugly solution, to be completely honest. There's definitely better ways to do this. But like on the fly, having not written like Python manually in some time, I think it's not bad. Not bad. I need more coffee. 9CMLZ4P1C, good to see you, says Dusty had Beth impersonate Sarah to piss off Andrew and Rob. How funny. I didn't know that, but that was really funny. We love algebra here. W algebra. It should not need a loop. I mean, we could do it by like division, I think, and then but like I kind of wanted to show how to use the loop. But yeah, I agree there's better ways to do it. And you say it should not need a loop. Pretty sure you failed the interview already, Ryan. I don't really care. I don't think so, actually. I think walking through the process like I just did, like talking through it, I think is actually demonstrates like pretty good comprehension. Like some interviewers might not like that I didn't use some like specific algorithm that they want to see here. But I think like walking through testing, like debugging through the test, I think what I displayed here is like a pretty clear understanding of Python syntax, of debugging, of variable naming, and like interaction with variables, doing yeah, I don't know. I disagree. Thank you, Jelly. Okay. If you guys want to try the problem yourselves, hey Bong and stuff, you can solve it yourself. Well, someone asked me if I could code. They were like, can you even code? And so I pulled up just a Python challenge, and I probably overcomplicated it a little bit, but we solved it in real time, just talking through it. And now I have that as content. And thank you for watching. I've been Radical Coder. Jelly needs a foot massage this weekend. Any volunteers? Just wait for them to come back for food. Oh, you're talking about the cats? Yeah, cats do be running away when you chase them, especially. Fuzzy, go gather the baby oil. Get to it, Fuzzy. All right, guys. I have content. I have content lined up. Okay? Our first video is this one. A Rebecca Watson video. It's called, Is the Charlie Kirk Effect Making Christianity Popular? So we're going to find out. We're going to see Rebecca Watson's take on whether or not the Charlie Kirk effect is making Christianity popular. But this is the Radical Coder channel. So we don't just watch random shit, random slop. Although this is arguably not slop. I like Rebecca Watson's content. But we're going to do something a little different. So the first thing I'm going to do is hop over to my Data Flow Canvas app, which, if you guys continue to support the channel, eventually I will go through the trouble of making this a publicly accessible app. But for now, it is something I use personally. And so I've copied the link to the YouTube channel, and I'm going to execute this block, and it's going to send it here, grab the transcript, and then copy the transcript to my clipboard. And now I'm going to open Gemini. I'm going to say make a single file HTML5 app that I can use as a bingo board to make watching the video in question, the video transcript provided, interactive and fun. Look at all you guys chatting amongst yourselves. Community building. Damn. You guys are brutal to each other. By the way, if you don't have your colors set up in my chat, which some of you don't, some of you do, some of you don't, I just want you to know you can by using these commands. All right, we have a bingo board. So we're looking for grifters, Donald Trump rescues orphans, spiritual awakening, Jesus AI app, vibes-based, prosperity gospel, Spotify streams, consumerism, packed with worshipers, AI slop, Pew Research, fascist minority, Christian. We have the free space. Christian Utopia, Russian bot program, patreon.com/Rebecca, religion app downloads, nuns, N-U-N-S, senseless acts of violence, Fox News, Dream World, Christianity is Cool Again, Bible sales, Charlie Kirk effect, and influencers. That's what we're going to be watching for.
Recently, I was watching Fox News because I was incredibly high and I thought I was in the middle of a Succession rewatch. And I happened to notice this interesting clip.
A Christian revival across the country.
Was Christian revival one? Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, transcript bingo. Exactly.
Sales increasing over 40% since 2022. Religion app downloads surging nearly 80%. That increase since...
How'd you manage this? So I have an app that lets me get the transcript of a YouTube video. So I copy the video. I opened up my app that does that. I got the transcript, and then I threw it into Gemini and asked it to make me a bingo board. And it did.
Since 2019, and Christian music Spotify streams up 50% from 20.
Spotify streams.
19. Our next...
Wow, Bible sales are up. Christian apps are up. I assume those are the ones where you have to like match 3 things to make them disappear. But instead
Bible
of
sales.
gems or candy, it's holy relics. And of course, Spotify listens are up. I guess it's all that DC talk buzz. Am I right? Wow. All right. I guess Christianity is cool again. Again? Well, whatever. Christianity is cool and popular and everybody loves it. Now, obviously, I just saw this shortened segment on my social media, so I tried to find the longer clip that it comes from, but I was not able to. Not because this turns out to be fake AI generated, as best I can tell.
Wait, AI slop was run right? She didn't say AI slop, she said fake AI generated. That's different. Okay. But wait.
It is real, but because there are actually so many videos and articles that Fox News has posted in the past month claiming that Christianity is experiencing a revival, which they have labeled the Charlie Kirk effect.
There it is.
Prior to his death, of course, the Charlie Kirk effect was referring to the optical illusion formed by the placement of Charlie Kirk's facial features that made it impossible to tell whether his head was too big or his face was too small. But the new...
I miss that meme. It doesn't hit the same anymore. The Charlie Kirk face memes just don't... It's just not as fun now. Right? That was such a good meme. I feel like we just can't make fun of Kirk's face like we used to. That's really the biggest tragedy of all of this, if you really think about it. Is that it's like sad to laugh at now. Right? Should clone his voice, add an AI to the studio, and have the AI engage with chat when he has breaks. I've actually thought about that. And that is something that we might work on eventually. I think this is all that misinfo based on a UK study. Oh, really? Interesting. Maybe we'll get to that.
New Charlie Kirk effect is a narrative Fox News is creating that says Charlie Kirk's murder was not just a senseless act of violence that literally happens every day here in the United States, but instead a brave, noble sacrifice that will catapult the United States directly into the theocratic Christian utopia that they have long been agitating for. In addition to the increase in Bible sales, app downloads, and Spotify listens, many of these articles also claim that the churches are...
Wait, did we already do Bible sales? Yeah, Bible sales. All right, wait, go back.
...been agitating for. In addition to the increase in Bible sales, app downloads, and Spotify listens, many of these articles also claim that the churches are suddenly packed with worshipers. Unlike the first 3 things, they don't have any data for the packed churches. It's just vibes-based. And so I also do not have data to completely rebut their claim. But I do have some data to call their various claims into question. For
Yeah, they mentioned app, but I think it's using the exact words. So they've mentioned app. I don't think they've actually said religion app downloads just yet. So
Start, decades of surveys show that in the United States and around the world, Christianity is getting less and less popular. According to a Pew Research poll published this past February, the percentage of Americans who identify as Christian has been pretty steady since the pandemic, but overall it's dropped from 78% in 2007 to an all-time low of 62% as of March of 2024. Obviously, we won't know if the Charlie Kirk effect reverses this trend for another year or so when we get this data, but that's a pretty big trend to reverse in just a few months. It's especially damning when you compare it to a chart from the same period that shows how many Americans describe themselves as atheists, agnostics, or nothing in particular when asked about their religion. We have doubled our numbers, zooming up from 16% to 29% in the same.
well, I'm just curious. Based on who else here? Let's see. We got like 16 people watching right now. Put a 1 in the chat if you think we're going to see an actual surge in Christianity. If we're going to actually see a Charlie Kirk effect. And put a 2 if you think it's if you think otherwise, I guess. One in the chat if you think we're going to see a surge in Christianity because of the quote unquote Charlie Kirk effect. 2 if you think we will not see that. We will not see that effect. Knob Roar. Wow, is that the Knob Roar? Knob Roar says 1. Michelle says 1. Fuzzy says 2. Bong and Stuff says short-term bump, perhaps. Well, Bong and I didn't ask if we'd see a short-term bump. I asked a 1 or a 2. I'm just kidding. You're fine. 2. Jelly says 2. Nikoti says 2. Spartacus says 2. Interesting.
Same period. This is similar to worldwide trends where the nuns, as we're collectively known, that's Nones, not Nuns, that's a whole other religious thing. But the nuns rose 16% between 2010 and 2020, from 1.6 billion to 1.9 billion, making us the second fastest growing population after Muslims and the third largest religious group in the world after Christians and Muslims. In that same time period, the percentage of the world population who identified as Christian fell by about 2 percentage points, down to 28.8%. So despite the fact that within that same time period, the United States went from a presumably secular democracy to a Christian authoritarian theocracy, that is not actually indicative that that religion is popular. We are
True. Does not mean it's popular. Super important to remember, especially in the modern age. Rude Crab says, I think we'll see a surge in people authoritarianism and people using Christian ideology to justify it, I think you mean, but not actual Christians. Yeah, people. Yeah, I see. We'll see a surge in people or in support for authoritarianism, and like people being sympathetic to authoritarianism, and people using Christian ideology to justify their authoritarianism, like all the Christian nationalists, all the crucible types, right? But not actual Christians. And Michelle seconds crab. Yeah, I don't know. There was a few things in that sentence that were kind of off. I guess when you're typing with claws, it's understandable that you would have some typos. So we'll let you scrape by with that.
Are currently ruled by a fascist minority who hold unpopular views on issues important to most Americans, including separation of church and state.
She said fascist minority, right?
We are currently ruled by a fascist minority who hold unpopular views on issues important to most Americans, including separation of church and state, trans healthcare, women's healthcare, et cetera, et cetera. At least, they were a minority until Charlie Kirk took one to the neck. So how about those numbers Fox News is crowing about? Well, the surge in Bible sales is absolutely believable. Bibles go through regular surges, with Fox News reporting on it every time as a sign that Christianity is cool again.
Also, she definitely mentioned Pew Research earlier, right? She definitely mentioned the Pew Research. Jelly says, hashtag take women out the workforce now. Cook the states. That's what Jelly says. Nikoti says, I'm a druid. Crab says, I'm at work and some scumbag was talking to me mid-sentence. I blame him. I'll have his resignation on my desk by the end of the day. Damn, brutal. I thought it was just a clause.
For instance, here's an article from last December about Bible sales surging 22% over the previous year. The Wall Street Journal also reported on this jump, talking to publishers who credited growing anxiety, successful marketing campaigns of new editions, and, as a subset of that, influencers like some girl from Love Island.
Influencers. Right here. We've almost got this line.
US making TikToks about buying her first Bible. And that for me really pinpoints the issue here. This is not about any kind of spiritual awakening. It is about consumerism.
That was two. That's two. Consumerism, spiritual awakening. Oh, bingo. Right? That counts? Bingo. Let's keep going though.
Capitalism and Christianity have been bedfellows for decades, with preachers deftly turning from Jesus flipping tables and kicking merchants out of the temple over to the prosperity gospel that began to thrive in 20th century America. Evangelists targeted the poor and disenfranchised, promising them that if they gave their last few dollars to the church, then the Lord would give it back to them sevenfold. Thus, the preachers got richer and richer, and the poor people just died, clinging to the idea still that their windfall was coming any day.
Your card should have had more duds. Oh, true. Yeah, maybe next time. Well, I was thinking, I'm brainstorming some ideas for the next round. I've got like 5 videos to watch, so we'll be doing this for a while. Maybe 6 videos.
Day now. And so today we have our televangelists doing the same thing on social media, with influencers cynically wielding Christianity to hone their own image, secure new brand deals, and sell Bibles to people who already have 6 of them moldering in their attic. And then Fox News takes this consumerism and uses it as propaganda, suggesting that the unpopular fascist minority is, in fact, a surging grassroots movement with the power of the moral majority. So yes, Bible sales probably went up. And how about those apps? Up almost 80% since
9CMLZ4P1C says God needs cash. Apparently. And you know who else needs cash? Radical Coder. And you can support me with your cash. You can transfer your cash into my tithing bowl. Yes, exactly. Tithe, you heathens. Give 10% of your earnings to Umbreon. He needs treats. He does eat likes, but he also needs treats. And the likes will support him as a baseline. Let's aim for at least let's try to get 30 likes on today's stream. Wouldn't that be cool? We're already halfway there. We've only been streaming for for what? Like 20 minutes or whatever? Like how long has it been? Okay, maybe like 40 minutes. We've been streaming for like 40 minutes. We're already at 15 likes. I bet we could get to 30 by the end of the stream. I'm just saying, I bet we could. I bet we can make some super chats too. I bet we can even get some new members today. And by the way, with a Radical Coder membership, you get the Baby Umbreon emote. You get lots of emotes, actually, but Baby Umbreon is a fan favorite here. You also get Angry Jiggles. That's one of our first ones we added. Angry Jiggles to show us how mad you are at the Christian nationalists, for example. But it could be mad at anybody. It could even be mad at me. And the Sip and Squirtles for the people who are just vibing like I am.
2019? Wow. Well, apparently the app market itself has grown by about 12% each year for the last decade. That means if there were 100 downloads of Christian apps in 2019, an 80% increase would mean there were 180 in 2025.
80%. Okay, sure.
If it kept up with the rest of the app market, we would expect it to be, 112 by 2020, then 125, 140, 157, 176 in 2024, and finally 197 by 2025, meaning that Christian apps have actually underperformed compared to the market. I mean, at least up until Charlie Kirk died. Gotta wait for those numbers. Finally, let's look at Spotify downloads. Fox News points to an increase of 50% in...
Oh, I guess she just talked about religion app downloads, right? I think she might have actually said it there.
streams of contemporary Christian music since 2019. Since 2019, Spotify has seen the number of subscribers increase by more than 100%.
By the way, something I heard about right before this stream. Apparently, there are ICE ads on Spotify. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Spotify ICE ads.
Join.ice.gov and fulfill your mission.
What if your favorite playlist got interrupted by a government ad inviting you to join ICE? Well, that's what some Spotify users recently reported. In October, Spotify started running recruitment ads from ICE, urging people to fulfill your mission to protect America and join the agency. The ads even used phrases like, "Millions of dangerous illegals are rampaging the streets." Spotify says the ICE recruitment ads comply with its policy and are part of a broader U.S. government campaign across multiple media platforms, saying it didn't violate their ad policy. According to the DHS, ICE has received more than 150,000 applications and extended over 18,000 tentative job offers in its latest recruitment drive, a nationwide effort to hire about 14,000 new officers.
I think the Discord link should be good. Try it out, and I guess if anyone clicks on the link and it doesn't work, let us know.
Offering bonuses of up to $50,000 and tuition assistance. For many listeners, this isn't just an ad. It's a political message inserted into music and streaming. The debate has reopened questions about how public sector messaging fits within private media spaces. What do you think? Should streaming platforms host government recruitment ads? Tell us in the comments and follow Activista Media for more.
Wild. Yeah, Michelle says there are illegals ravaging the streets. They're called ICE. The illegals that are ravaging the streets are called ICE, and they're recruiting on Spotify. So you can listen to them in between your Sabrina Carpenter album and the New Wonder Years remaster. Jelly says you were never invited to Ryan's Discord. Really? You are now. I'm sorry. Click on the link. You're definitely invited. Honestly, Fuzzy does more inviting to my Discord than I do, so blame Fuzzy.
The total number of users increased by 270% and revenue increased by 230%. I couldn't find details for total number of streams, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that overall a growth of only 50% on Spotify is not really anything to brag about. Unfortunately, Spotify sucks. They gave Joe Rogan millions of dollars. Stop giving Spotify money. What are you guys doing?
Possibly true. Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, possibly true that we might have to not give Spotify money if you. Well, I rejoined Spotify recently, but it was because I had a free month, so I might actually cancel that soon. Some child, Jelly gonna pick up some random child apparently. You do drop the link and invite in the chat all the time. Fuzzy does every time. So perhaps it is Jelly's fault.
Anyway, so the data just isn't there to support the idea that Christianity is growing in popularity, nor is there evidence to suggest that the Christians who are here are actually consuming more stuff. But as outlets like 404 Media have pointed out, there does appear to be a strange increase in Christians making and spreading AI slop.
AI slop. We love AI slop here. We got bingo again. Double bingo. Another bingo.
404 found that the slop is actually being made by and for Christians in the West. This is not some Russian bot program. And apparently the Christians here just can't get enough of it. 404 spoke with Karina Laughlin, who wrote the book Redeem All: How Digital Life is Changing Evangelical Culture. Laughlin said that they don't care that it looks like shit or it makes no sense. The Christians are just solely concerned with AI's ability to quickly mass produce content that they agree with and can easily spread to try to evangelize to the heathens. I think that AI allows Christians to continue to live in a dream world, completely.
Dream world. That's another one. Bingo again. Triple bingo.
separate from reality. Fox News does the same thing for them, but with AI slop, they can take it to the next level. It's not just the false reality that Christianity is wildly popular or that Charlie Kirk died for some great cause. Now they can also pretend that Donald Trump rescues orphans out of floods, or they can...
There we go. Donald Trump rescues orphans. Another bingo.
Truly envision what's going to happen when Jesus Christ returns. Or they can even pretend that Jesus Christ is actually already here and ready to talk to them through an app. Seriously,
Jesus
if you
AI
ask the Jesus AI app if it's really Jesus, it replies, "I am Jesus, Son of God. How may I help you today?"
no.
Yes, I'm calling to cancel my subscription to Pope Facts. It's actually really annoying. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if we do eventually see a statistically significant uptick in downloads of Christian apps as more grifters realize just how gullible and easily fleeced these people are. But even when that happens, it doesn't mean that Christianity is suddenly growing in popularity. It just isn't.
You must have missed Grifters, Christian Utopia, and she's about to do patreon.com.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people.
There we go. I also have a Patreon. First of all, W Puppy. We have an Umbreon fan club. For as low as $1 a month, you can help fund squeaky toy reparations. Maybe they weren't actually in there. Well, let's check her transcript. Let's see. Control F, grifters. Aha, it was.
Christian apps as more grifters realize just...
There it was. We missed that one. And then Christian Utopia. Oh, wow. That was like really early on.
Into the theocratic Christian utopia that...
There it is. Beautiful. So that was fun. Transcript bingo. So Christianity is maybe not on the rise in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, but I guess it could be. We still don't really know. We'll find out eventually. But there is an influx in a bunch of other things like AI slop for Christians, which is concerning in other ways. Fulfilled, true, aren't we all? Anyway, so that's just a small taste. That was the Charlie Kirk effect. Next, we have some drama. Not just drama, though. Actually, some pretty serious accusations. We covered a little bit of the Mizkif Emiru stuff. We watched some of Emiru the other night. And now there's a legal mindset video, apparently, breaking down Emiru's legal nuke on Mizkif. This is some fast facts from Legal Mindset. So we're going to check that out. But before we do, first of all, have you supported the stream today? Have you supported your local coder? Have you liked the stream? Have you gotten a Radical Coder channel membership so that you can use the Shrek Care emote, which is super cute? Have you gifted a Radical Coder channel membership so you can spread joy, spread the gospel of Coder to those near and dear to you? Have you donated with a super chat, which I will read out loud and will look quite fancy? We have a new super chat illustration in the overlay, which you may not have seen yet. And the only way that you can see it is by super chatting. It's quite pretty. Highly recommend you check it out. But anyway, our next piece of content is, again, the Legal Mindset video. Emiru drops a legal nuke on Mizkif. We're going to copy the URL, throw it into our transcript grabber, and grab that transcript. Then we're going to go back to our transcript bingo. Okay, I have another transcript, but we want some more dud spaces and maybe some more colorful features, and maybe even bingo confetti or something. Even though this is kind of a serious topic to do this for, so debatable whether or not this is an ethical way to handle such serious stuff, but we're gonna try to have fun with it, okay? And also somehow make all of this respect the gravitas. Am I spelling that right? I use that word a lot. Gravitas. How do I spell that? Gravitas. AS. Okay. Gravitas of the subject matter, which is relatively dark. Transcript. Isn't he the guy that says as long as it's legal, it's okay? Is that what he said? Wait, who? Legal Mindset or Miskiff? Did Miskiff say that? Was that with regards to the whole incident where what was that streamer guy who was in the house with them, who was like fondling someone while they were sleeping or drunk, passed out or whatever? When I see his Legal Mindset face, I'll tell you. Yeah, I don't know if this is a guy we like or not. Arian, good to see you, says no worries, non-political intrapersonal drama is fine. I mean, I suppose. This is a great set of requests. An interesting challenge to balance a fun feature like confetti with a somber topic. True. He's an idiot? Okay, cool. Good to know. So we don't like this guy, is what we're learning. Oh, these are cute. Wait, why are these just blanked? Pretty sure Queeman has a video with his reaction to Legal Mindset acting all weird in one video. Short Stack says Legal Mindset is a joke. Noted. Okay, I'm not super. I mean, I've seen him. I've seen people cover him before. I just don't remember specifics about him. I didn't pick it because I liked the guy. I picked it because I was intrigued. So we're gonna hear how his breakdown goes. Let's keep all of that in mind. All of my chatters allegedly poisoning the well. Maybe I understood Dud wrong. Yeah, I think it understood. Yeah, it understood Dud wrong. Yeah, it's not exactly what we meant, but whatever. True. We love our colors. Okay. Well, let's go.
Emaru versus Miskiff. There are giant allegations, some of which could be criminal.
Already the announcer. I mean, I guess like that's his style, whatever. But it just feels like a weird way to start off already tonally. He has brain rot takes when going against anyone from the left. Yeah. Many such cases.
As we investigate this streamer on streamer battle. Of course, Legal Mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is the Fast Facts version of the latest in legal news. If you like the Fast Facts, if you like the format, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below. So let's jump right.
Before we jump in, let's read the boxes we're looking for. So there is an OSHA report. There's blackmail and coercion. There's a streamer bubble. There's streamer on streamer battle, which I think he just said in the opening. He said, she said, massive legal implications, slap lawsuit, punching holes in the wall, Mizkiff not credible. We got free space. Airing dirty laundry. Emaru versus Mizkiff. I guess that was his opening thing. Don't date your coworkers. Animal cruelty. Handsome lawyer hat. Giant liability, mutual defamation, mental health, and police report. Bubbles, yes, Bubbles. Any Brittany Simon Bubble fans up here? I actually really like Brittany Simon personally. I turned on her stream a little bit earlier, but I didn't really follow it. I like the Bubbles. I think she does some damn good analysis, in my humble opinion.
Right into it today with this, which is a highly requested topic with massive legal implications. Could be the streaming court case that I think might even go beyond the Ethan Klein versus Frogan and Denims and Casey Tron, although that's a pretty crazy one as well. But this one is...
This is really funny, Michelle, that it took the :/ from your URL. The first :/ has turned it into a little sideways face. She's entering? Do you mean entertaining? What is she entering? What is she entering, Fluzzy? Jen says, was legal mindset on the thumbnail for or am never mind. Yeah, sorry. I'm sure Jen knows that he apparently sucks. I'm just learning. I don't really know much about the guy. I just saw that I saw in my feed a video on the Emeru Mizkif legal nuke. And I thought it would be interesting to get like a good summary, but I don't know if this is the best source, so we can make sure we take all of this with a grain of salt. On everything else, Somali, Destiny, Hassan, etc., he is dumb. He threatened to sue Hassan for calling him a fake lawyer too. That's funny. I'll call him a fake lawyer. Hey, you're a fake lawyer. Hey, Jen said it too. He's a fake lawyer. I don't know if he's a fake lawyer. I mean, like, I have no clue. I don't know anything about the guy, but I trust Jen's judgment. So if Jen says he's a fake lawyer, I suspect he is in fact a fake lawyer. Oh, she's suing him now? I missed that. Apparently. When we're done with his, we could watch Queeman talking shit about him. Perhaps. Let's see. Let me pull that one up so I have it on hand.
Do you think Antifa worldwide sleeper cells have been activated? Do you think Antifa worldwide sleeper cells that got 30k views? Because I struggle to figure out whether this is a grift or genuine mental illness. I struggle to figure out whether the hell I want.
Wait, do you guys hear that?
That's
crazy. What the fuck? How do I stop this? What did you do? What the fuck happened? Okay, I just had to close all the tabs. Did you guys hear that? That was crazy. That was awful. Okay, I think we should be safe now. I don't know why it did that. Okay, so there was massive legal implications, right? We got that one. We had Emery versus Mizkif. Okay, I think those are the only two we had so far. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Nope, not ChatGPT. Ah. Okay. Here we go.
Crazy one as well. But this one is more personal in nature. And I think that's what makes it so interesting and so fascinating, albeit in a unfortunate way. So let me start with some disclaimers, of course, in my PP, my PowerPoint. First of all, I do not know these people. One of the fortunate things about being outside of the streamer bubble, which I...
Streamer bubble. Wasn't that one? Maybe that was in the earlier one. I guess the refresh got rid of that. But streamer bubble was on the old other one, right? Whatever.
Pretty much defined as the American streamers that pretty much all hang out together. They're all doing house parties. They're going out meeting each other. There's advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantages of...
Who is LUS? I don't know. PP disclaimers is crazy.
Of course, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what people are doing. You're not listening to, the latest tips and tricks, etc. But at the same time, right, and this is the important point here, you're removed from the drama and you're protected from it. I would not want to be at one of these alleged parties or events, etc., and have seen these things going down. That's just a giant liability. And to me, hearing what these things going down is a great example of why you should not date people that are effectively your coworkers. And in this very case, we're going to deal with, what can be
Oh, you're asking short stack. He's some other lawyer obsessed with the Ethan stuff. He's less bombastic, but perhaps more accurate. Interesting.
Intercompany drama, intercompany issues here. And one other thing that kind of popped out to me as a disclaimer is that streamers are kind of weird in the way that they operate and the way that they manage their relationships.
Take that back. I'm perfectly normal. I'm a very normal person.
In the way that they deal with their interpersonal stuff. Now, I know that Emaru and others have said, hey, this isn't stuff they would bring up online. Private life should be private. And I very much agree with that. But airing out all of your dirty laundry of your relationship live for millions to see is just not really the way to go. And I think
I guess like it obviously comes with a lot of issues. But like, I don't know, if you have a platform and somebody does do fucked up shit, like I don't know if it's like there's obviously there's like a lot of things to consider about whether or not you want to use your platform with millions of I don't know. I think it's there could be situations where it's unethical not to say anything. And there's situations where it's unethical to say anything. I don't know. I feel like that's a bit too blunt of a take.
I think
apologies, Umbreon started screaming. Abnormal coder. Still screaming. No, sir. Right. Okay, I've kidnapped the dog.
Looking at this, for all those that are wondering, hey, I want to become a streamer, you might want to think again, because there are various tolls, whether it's on your personal life, as you see here, relationships, mental health. There's a lot of things. Stress, I can speak to that. I've been very, very stressed out lately because it's a lot of pressure mentally, right? Not physically. It's not construction, right? It's not the hardest job physically ever. No.
Actually, it is a very hard job, and we should be compensated extremely well. And I can't help but notice we have not gotten any super chats so far. So I just want to say, if you respect the hard work that Umbreon and I do when we bring you these breakdowns and these bingo boards over sensitive topics, ethical or unethical as they may be, you at least like the stream, because if you can't support with your funds, support with your thumbs. But I would really appreciate if you will in the future. But back to the content.
But there's a lot of mental pressure, there's a lot of social pressure, and that is very, very much true. But I will say one other thing as a disclaimer. I am going to focus on the law, as always, and focus on the, legal issues here at hand. But as a non-legal observer, taking off my handsome lawyer hat for a second, right? Moodang's wearing the hat right now, but we're taking off the hat.
Handsome lawyer hat was on our previous board, but it's not on this one, so.
We're taking off that. And we're, as just a human being who watched this, I do not find Miskiff to be very credible. His story is not looking
Miskiff
good.
Not credible.
It is at a disadvantage. Now, I cannot say with certainty, absent proof in court or other hard evidence, who is guilty, who is not guilty, etc. But all of the factors right now favor Emaru. Emmy looks much more credible. Her presentation was much more credible. She seemed genuinely distraught versus Miskiff, who really only seemed distraught at the fact that this is going to ruin his career. He did not.
distinctions. This is virtual bricklaying. That's true. That's true. And we should be compensated as such. Police says just never lie about that stuff just to hurt someone, which unfortunately people also do. That's true. That is true. Yeah, I'm glad. I am thankful that I think I'm at a point in my life where I don't expect, even as I grow as a creator, I don't expect that a lot of my personal life will be like intertwined in this. I mean, my girlfriend is not a streamer person, does not an online person like I am, so I don't have to worry about all that. I don't have to really deal with any of that drama. And my dog does not post online, and he's my closest friend, so I think I'm safe.
Not seem genuinely troubled by this on a deep sense. Both of them need to be speaking to lawyers. I do think Emmy is doing that. I'm not sure about Miskiff, although I'm sure he's thinking about it now. If he's hatching all these crazy plans like using rabbits as blackmail material, I'm sure he's spoken to a lawyer at some point. I don't think a lawyer reviewed his statement. I think he wrote down the statement and he just read it. If I was a lawyer and I was advising him, I would not tell him to say the things he said. I would tell him to keep that private and bring it up in court.
Yeah, there's been a development.
But they decided to say it. And by saying it, there's pretty much mutual defamation going on. Now, I'm waiting
to let her know. Yeah, she's going to find out hopefully soon. Ryan isn't gay? Just, yeah. If you can believe it. Progression. True.
Mutual defamation because somebody is telling the truth and somebody is not telling the truth, or perhaps both parties may be fabricating certain periods. Once again, I'm taking a neutral stance. I don't know. I have a bias based on my observations. I think Emmy is the more credible one so far. But from a neutral, taking out those non-legal observations, the defamation is there somewhere. Somebody is defaming somebody, so they need to speak to lawyers and get on top of that. So let's talk about Emmy first. I watched all of these videos. I sat today and watched all 3 hours of videos, including Asmongold's reaction to them. Shout out to the Roach King. I did think her presentation, once again, was very credible, and she also brought some receipts. She had the text messages, which was much more credible than the evidence that was brought by Miskiff. Showing some random videos, once again, was very credible, and she also, Roach King. I did think her presentation, once again, was very credible, and she also brought some receipts. She had
brought some receipts. That's one. Brought some receipts. Ryan's girlfriend, what's his name? Don't fucking worry about it. if I'll go, best case scenario is you guys don't need to know my girlfriend's name. I think it's better that way.
The text messages, which was much more credible than the evidence that was brought by Miskiff, showing some random video of what could be any single rabbit's enclosure, or not even a rabbit, it could be another animal. Who knows? There was no rabbit in the actual video. That is very questionable. And it certainly does not, quote unquote, prove anything. And proving stuff online and social media really doesn't get you any points if you get hit with a restraining order, if you get with criminal, certain criminal sanctions, criminal penalties might happen there, or civil liability. That's not going to protect you. So I think she did a good job of presenting it. I know it was troubling. I know she was sick. But overall presentation by Emmy was good. So what are the main allegations in the criminal stuff and civil stuff I focused on? First, there's blackmail and coercion. So that is
blackmail and coercion. Wait, did he just say criminal allegations?
But overall presentation by Emmy was good. So what are the main allegations in the criminal stuff and civil stuff I focused on? First, there's blackmail and coercion. Whoa. So that is the aspect where if you go and speak out about a relationship, which is at the key here, and say bad things, etc., I am going to drop the rabbits, and we're going to get into the rabbits when we get into Miskiff, but I'm going to coerce you into not speaking. This is a problem for several reasons. One of which, once again, is these people were coworkers working at the same, under the same umbrella. There's a lot of issues when you're trying to coerce and blackmail a coworker. This can become a broader workplace issue. We know OSHA, right, guys? Real easy to
OSHA.
Submit that OSHA report. Not looking good on that, especially in Texas, under Texas law. There's also under Texas law, assault family violence. Now, understand this is domestic assault in Texas. That's how they brand it. And remember, assault is not actually striking somebody. It's actually just causing fear of imminent harm. So by punching holes in the wall and by doing other acts of violence, that could be construed as assault family violence. Once again, you don't need
punching holes in the wall, again, that was on the earlier version, but not on this one.
To be married for that. You can be a roommate, a boyfriend, etc. In Texas, that can fly. Now, there could also be sexual assault, maybe. Now, I'm very careful about this because we are, of course, in a, I don't want to say post-Me Too era, but I want to be very, very, very clear. We have at this point, a he said, she said story. Very difficult to prove those and very difficult to litigate those. Also, based on the factors, it seemed like, there was consent at one point, which was withdrawn. Okay, you let him kiss you, and then he jumped on top of you, said no, he got off. So there's some potential. Could it be essay? Yes, it could be. Could a court look at that?
Isn't there an infamous Charlie Kirk clip where he talks about that? Charlie Kirk, sexual assault, withdraw consent. This is a crazy video. Proves the gray area.
If your portfolio is over $250,000 and you aren't...
Oh my God, he posted this? This is like a damning video.
Gray area. Wait, can I ask?
Really quick, we're running out of time. One last question.
Okay. So aside from DEI, I also wanted to ask you to confirm the murky gray area again with sexual assault. In a previous video, you mentioned that if there was two 19-year-olds, they were drunk, and then...
Yes, if they're so again, no means no, and stop means stop, but you would both agree, if two parties are intoxicated, there's gray area, right?
No, I don't.
Actually, yes, the law says that consent cannot be given or withdrawn if both parties or either party is intoxicated.
Given or withdrawn? This is what he was proud of himself for.
That's the law. The law here in California is that if one party is intoxicated, it is rape by either the woman or the man. That's gray area.
I feel like that's not what the law says, is it? I feel like that's probably not true. I guess I could look that up, but I'm just going to guess. That's not what the law says.
So did you know that if you have sex with an intoxicated person, you're a rapist? Did you know that?
I just don't think that's true.
I didn't.
That's what the law says. That's what I meant by gray area.
I don't think that's... I don't think that's true. California... Sorry, we're going on apparently you can't have drunk sex in California. California essay laws intoxication. It says... I'm reading the law. It says rape with intoxication in California. Okay, this says... Oh, wait, this is a criminal defense. It says drunk sex is not consensual sex under California law. Wait, under Penal Code 261? Why would it be written like this? Rape with intoxication in California. Wait. Penal... Okay, let's pull this up. Penal Code 261A. This sounds fake. Okay, so this says if a person is prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance or a controlled substance, and this condition was known or reasonably should have been known by the accused, intoxic. Oh, okay, so they're just fucking lying. So this law firm, this state and federal criminal defense, these people are lying. Oh, wait. Well, I mean, they clarify here. If the other party becomes so intoxicated that it affects their ability to consent or to resist your advances, you could be charged with rape. But then what they say here is that drunk sex is not consensual sex. That is not what they clarify in the next sentence. And that is not what the law says. Again, just to be clear, what the law says is if a person is prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance or a controlled substance, and this condition was known or reasonably should have been known by the accused. So they're lying and Kirk is lying. if you can believe it. Yeah, Fuzzy got it exactly right.
I encourage people to look into that, because when it's past 2 a.m. and both
We just looked into it.
parties are intoxicated, by law, they're actually both committing rape. Hoarding.
Not what the law says, as we just saw. Once again, California Code, Penal Code, whatever the number was, 261. 261, Part 3, not at all what it says. What's up, Ruby? Rude Crap says, most places you can't give legal consent for most things while inebriated. Why shouldn't that extend to sexual matters? I mean, you can say that. It's not like, it's just definitely not what it says here. I mean, I feel like people can consent to sex when they're drunk, just not when they're prevented from resisting by intoxication. Like there's a bar, right? And like there might be some we could even argue, I guess like to give some grace to Charlie, right? Shortsack says, a reminder, I'm not a lawyer or American, unlike Legal Mindset. OSHA applies to employees in workplaces. It does not apply to contractors like Twitch streamers in an org. That's a good point. If you can't say no, you're passed out. Yeah, like, it's saying you're prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance. Again, it's not saying that you've just, like, you're drunk. Like, it is that you are prevented from resisting. Like, you can't fight back. Well, the next one they say if they're unconscious. But, like, yeah, so. Anyway, obviously, Charlie Kirk is lying about this. Krabs says, I just choose not to. Drunk women are terrible in bed, and I can't be fucked keeping a breathalyzer on hand. I mean, live your life. Whatever. Like, I think you can give consent if you've been drinking. You definitely can. But, like, it depends on how much you've drank. Doesn't sex require a yes and not a no? I mean, there's implicit yes, right? Like, you don't have to literally say the word yes. I mean, it's not bad to get a good, like, a solid yes. Like, as you're, like, advancing, like, or like you know, like, some sort of verbal clarification. Like, hey, you good? You know, shit like that. Like, consent is a yes, not an absence of a no. I see what, I mean, yo, Jen, look at the fancy super chat thing we have now. Isn't that cool? Isn't that shiny? Don't you want your chats to show up like this, like Jen's did? Give Ryan money chat. Or wait, give Ryan money chat is what it said. Give Ryan money chat. As you should. We're going to leave that up. The law is written according to definition, and definition of drunk is affected by alcohol to the extent of losing control or one's faculties or behavior, so it's self-explanatory. Yeah, but the law doesn't even say drunk, is what I'm saying. Like, the word drunk isn't even in this penal code. Like, there's no drunk or drink or even alcohol. It's very specific. It says if they're prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance or controlled substance. Appreciate you, Libby. You're good. Just give the stream a like if you haven't done that yet. We love likes. Umbreon loves likes. We're at 19 likes. We're hoping to get to 30. If we can get to 30 likes by the end of the stream, that'd be really fancy, really cool. Pretty pog even, perhaps. But yeah, it doesn't say drunk, actually.
According to California law and national law in every state, if one or both parties are intoxicated, consent is not a thing. You are
definitely not what this says. Definitely not what it says. Prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance. So literally not what he's saying at all.
Not allowed to have sex with that person under that circumstance.
Okay, so then to you, then it's not a gray area. It's sexual assault by law.
Ah, good counter, but accepting his framing.
No, I'm not willing to call every single person that's had sex while they're drunk a rapist. Are you?
No, and neither does the law.
Well, if the girl is saying no.
They're both intoxicated. So what they say is irrelevant. That's the point. And
it's not what it says.
no one wants to talk about this, is that according to the law, intoxication removes consent. Literally, you are not allowed to give, receive, deny, or remove consent if you are intoxicated. So, example that I was...
Man, he's just really just making shit up, isn't he? It's so crazy. I haven't really sat and watched a lot of Charlie Kirk, to be honest. But man, he really just fucking lies hard.
Giving in that viral clip was very clear. Two people that are intoxicated post 2 a.m. Who is right, who is wrong? Case-dependent gray area. All while saying, under normal circumstances, no mean no and stop means stop. But let me ask you another question. Do you think if two 18-year-olds are sitting on a park bench and the man goes in for a kiss with the girl and it's unwanted, did he commit sexual assault?
Did he ask?
Did the man commit sexual assault to try to kiss a girl?
Did he ask? Did he ask?
So let me be clear. A man has to ask a woman verbally before he has to kiss a girl. Is that your position?
He can either ask or she can make it very known that, like, she backs away.
How can she make it known? How can she, without talking?
If you ever kissed anybody, I feel like you can tell if someone like wants to kiss you or not, right? This is the wrong tense for he doesn't lie anymore. Oof. I don't think this is actually the viral clip that I was looking for, by the way. I think this is a separate one.
Talking, how can she make it known?
She can back away. She can make a face. Same thing if they were drunk. Like,
you want to know why romance has left this country? You have to ask before you kiss somebody on a first date. Excuse me, can I kiss you? Really?
I mean, it doesn't. Honestly, some people prefer that, but yeah, she is falling for the bait. Yeah. He's talking about kisses. We were talking about that's a good point too. To Steelman his position, I would say he's saying that two people who are both not of sound mind, who is in the wrong. I mean, I guess it's a hard question. I don't know the answer to that. But I don't think that's what he's saying. Even it's just that is a stronger position to put forward. Hang on. Murky. Yeah, this is not the video. This is not the viral one. This is not the clip. That's why he posted this. Charlie Kirk withdraw. There's a short. It's this one.
Morning.
Like 5 drinks in at 2 a.m. and all of a sudden she like removes consent. Yeah.
Removes consent.
Like that's a murky middle gray area. And excuse me when I say.
She still removed consent, did she not?
Oh, okay, but again.
So this is the one. This is damage control. The one we just watched was damage control for this one. Let's just run that back.
Hooking up, both 5 drinks in at 2 a.m. and all of a sudden she like removes consent. Yeah, like that's a murky middle gray area. And excuse me.
Removes consent. That's a murky middle gray area, he says. She removes consent. Now that's a murky middle gray area, is what he says.
She still removed consent, did she not?
Oh, okay, but again,
if he continues to go onward with that encounter,
again,
then he is sexually assaulting her.
Yeah, literally, like by any definition. Like if she withdrew her consent, whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like, if she withdrew her consent, and then he continues, then yes, that is literally sexual assault.
Again, that is such an unfair categorization. Like,
no,
again, it's very case dependent.
Charlie, that's weird that you would say that's a gray area. That is actual what you described is a whole case, and that is SA. I don't care how many drinks you had. If you say no, if a female say no, or male.
Anyway, we know. Thank you, Nard News now. Anyway, back to the Emiru thing. What?
Doesn't get you any points if you get hit with a restraining order, if you get with coworkers working at the same, under the same.
Here we go. Now we're back to the coworker stuff. Group Cap says, so if I'm sober and a girl is really, really drunk but can still speak, that's fine. That's fine? I don't know if I'd say it's fine, but it's not necessarily SA, but like it sounds like you're starting to get into where you should be more cautious, right? I might even I might even use the phrase gray area, but I'm talking about gray area for you, considering whether or not you're going to do it. I think you should be cautious because like you might be in a situation where this person's not like is in a state of mind where they would not otherwise agree to it. So I think that's worth considering. Just say I'll be gentle and go slow. If she says yes, you can just do whatever you feel with her. That's what Michelle. Wait. So you can just say I'll be gentle. I mean, yeah, you can go like when you're going slow, then there's more room for people to like withdraw consent, right? I don't understand how this has become a conservative talking point. It's like these dudes have never been in a real life situation with a woman. Well, they're speaking to men who have not, right? Like their target audience is men who have not been in real life situations with women. Fine or legal? Yeah, exactly. That's part of the. How well is she speaking? If she's slurring and stumbling, then no, it's not okay. Yeah. Yeah. I felt bad if someone was too drunk and I could tell. Yeah, definitely. Michelle, you're asserting she said yes, the law states not the law we were reading. The law we read talks about prevented from resisting. It's not talking about the absence of a no. I don't know what law you're referring to, but this is the California Penal Code that Charlie Kirk was referring to in his damage control video. We went down a tangential rabbit hole on the time that Charlie Kirk talked about the murky gray area with regards to SA when people withdrawing consent, and we watched a video that he put out as damage control for a viral clip where he said it was a murky gray area for when somebody withdraws consent. Oh, sorry, the chat is broken. Oh, no, it's not. I just need to scroll out. Where she withdraws consent, and then, what if she's passed out? Oh, yeah, don't fucking have sex with someone who's passed out. Also, nice care react. Distinction says, the situation where a woman withdraws consent is probably rare, but if it happens, the whole vibe in the room is going to change. If you keep going, there's no way it doesn't have a rapey energy. Yeah, exactly. Resistance isn't a no. I mean, yeah, it is. It's an implicit no, yeah. I guess I'm just clarifying the framing. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying more if you are equating those things. Yeah. If she's passed out, let her sleep and leave her the fuck alone. Yeah, definitely. Unless you're so drunk that you don't understand that she's not into it anymore, says Distinction. I mean, that could still be sexual assault, right? Like, your judgment might be impaired and you don't know the other person's, or you don't realize the other person's not as into it, but like you're still, like that's like, I mean like you're still doing it, right? You're still responsible for that. Murky gray sounds like prison time to me. Yeah, ideally. I withdraw consent to being in the same chat as poor little monkey boy. Well, you're both welcome here. Sorry, I don't know the beef between Ruby and Distinction, but. Crab did a 180. He did a rabbit season, duck season. Did he? Sorry, guys. No matter how drunk I was, I still knew right from wrong. True. Crab did say to Steelman Kirk's take. Yeah, no, fair enough. But I was saying, like, I feel like when he was steelmanning it earlier, when he said he was steelmanning earlier, he was just like arguing a different position. Crab said there needs to be a yes, but the lawyer says an absence of a no, or the law says absence of a no. But what I really said is she can't say no, it's illegal. Or what is that what Kirk said? Or wait, I'm sorry, I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. I can't. I won't let you guys cook. It's still SA, but I guess that's a gray area in the sense that the dude may not have been intending to cause harm. I mean, yeah, we can, yeah, that's a conversation that can be had for sure. Anyway, back to the Emaru.
Umbrella. There's a lot of issues when you're trying to coerce and blackmail a coworker. This can become a broader workplace issue. We know OSHA, right, guys? Real easy to submit that OSHA report. Not looking good on that, especially in Texas, under Texas law. There's also under Texas law, assault family violence. Now, understand this is domestic assault in Texas. That's how they brand it. And remember, assault is not actually striking somebody. It's actually just causing fear of imminent harm. So by punching holes in the wall and by doing other acts of violence, that could be construed as assault family violence. Once again, you don't need to be married for that. You can be a roommate, a boyfriend, etc. In Texas, that can fly. Now, there could also be sexual assault, maybe. Now, I'm very careful about this because we are, of course, in a, I don't want to say post-Me Too era, but I want to be very, very, very clear.
This is where we were when we went down the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole.
We have at this point, a he said, she said story. Very difficult to prove those and very difficult to litigate those. Also, based on the factors, it seemed like, there was consent at one point, which was withdrawn. Okay, you let him kiss you, and then he jumped on top of you, said no, he got off. So there's some potential. Could it be essay? Yes, it could be. Could a court look at that? Once again, I'm taking a very neutral legal perspective. Could a court look at that and say that's not essay? Also possible, right? So both of those scenarios, very, very possible there, but she could still try. She could still try to bring that claim. And I think that's the trouble for Miskiff, is that whether or not this is something that would ultimately be adjudicated guilty, being on trial for sexual assault does not look good for your career. There's also intentional.
That's true. He's right about that.
Infliction of emotional distress. It definitely seems on a civil side like that is a clear thing here. He was trying to afflict her with emotional distress. She seems distraught. She seems to have damages. She seems to have mental suffering and mental health from that, which is a very real thing. And I think she could.
Joey says, men are always very careful on these topics, even though men are the primary perps. Nasty work. Something to consider.
Bring that claim. So these allegations, once again, they are very serious, but I want to stress this, and this is the point which I want to get to Amy if she's listening to this. Amy, you need to make sure you're taking official action. Now, I know you're getting a restraining order, and that's good.
We had, I guess restraining order was in the earlier one.
A restraining order is a good first step. But understand, your restraining order may be limited to just his physical presence. Okay, he physically can't come near you. Now, some courts are willing to issue a digital restraining order saying he can't talk about you online. That's a little bit more problematic, maybe not constitutional. Some courts will do it, some won't, might be overthrown. But what really should happen is a police report here of some kind. Maybe
police report. I feel like we must have missed him saying fast facts version, right? Like, let's see, we're at 8:59. So if you're just joining us, we have a little bingo card for these videos, which is, perhaps in bad taste. But streamer on streamer battle was one. Let's see if we missed that one. Streamer on. Yeah, okay, so it was very early. It was one of the first things he said, so we got that one already. And fast facts version. Facts version. Yeah, again, that was in like the first 17 seconds. It all happened so fast we missed it. I don't think we've got to animal cruelty yet. So animal cruelty. Yeah, we're not there yet. Okay.
Maybe EEOC, OSHA, once again, they were working together. This could be a situation in which this was bleeding over into her work. And once again, what was key to her testimony, what was key to her talking about, not testimony yet, but her statements. Her statements were, I was streaming this. I was playing a tank in WoW, or I was streaming this game, and he was jealous and made me stop. That's a workplace issue. That's saying, hey, look,
what up, Eva, Eva? I'm always going to switch between them, by the way, forever now. True Fuzzy. Joey says, if you apply for a home loan and everything is going good until I feel like your behavior tells me you no longer want to be a client of mine, that no is a solid no.
They're dating. They were coworkers, right? Working under the same umbrella legally. There you go. I mean, once again, seems problematic. A reason why you don't date your coworkers. These sort of things will happen with any relationship that's botched. And let me just mention that the majority of relationships fail. So once you factor in that the majority of relationships, just dating casually, are going to fail, you are gambling on a game that you're going to lose. It's
I mean, yeah, but the way he says like all relationships are going to end, I mean, this is all very serious stuff. That's not just like not every relationship is going to end with stuff like this, right? Like at least the allegations in this situation are not like not every relationship is going to end up with these sorts of allegations. Like not every relationship has these sorts of dynamics. You can have a bad relationship without all this shit. Mitchell says, I love my neighbors. In the elevator, Mans had a package, and I asked him anything exciting, and he thought I meant in his life in general. And he said, the fuck is exciting these days? It's a good meme. Everything's all over the place, he said. So I told him, yeah, we're living in clown town world, or fucking clown world these days. True. That's wild. How a relationship succeeds to him is you die dating the person. Oh, he's a red pillar, says Short Stack. He believes all relationships are a fraud. Oh no. Is he married? Somehow I doubt it.
Stupid thing to do. Now, listen.
Sounds more like a black pillar, to be honest. All I can say is there are certain men that like to tempt fate. Yeah, no doubt.
Have people done stupid things? Yes. Have people dated coworkers in the past? Yes. Look, I'm no saint over here saying it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is it's a bad idea. It's a very bad idea. Beyond that, you could also do a civil lawsuit. And that's the thing I think would be most fruitful. Now, defamation might be difficult because you have to expose everything. And that's why I don't push defamation right away. I don't think Emmy should jump to defamation. I think she should start with something else like filing a police report, a workplace claim, or IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress. With that, you're going to be able to go after Miskiff. You're going to be able to get his messages, text messages, etc., depose people that talk to him. I think that would be a smarter move than perhaps going after defamation, but it's up to her and her lawyers and what they decide. Now, let's talk about Miskiff.
I mean, that was like such a nothing statement, wasn't it?
Over here. And
like, she may go after these things, but it's up to her and her lawyers. Like, I mean, I guess it's, yeah, whatever. I guess it's just a summary of all the stuff they just talked about. I'm just being pedantic.
This lovely, lovely fellow.
Wow, what a screenshot.
I found that what he did was soulless and really just reading off a statement that obviously was prepared. He admitted that, but was not screened, filtered, or really considered harshly. Throwing a plushie or a blanket is not going to get a girl hit with a assault charge or a battery charge. I'm sorry. That's not going to come to counter punching a wall, right? Those are not equivalent things. And perhaps I'm a little bit more hardened by this, growing up in South Florida, having one or two sandals thrown at me at some point, the chancleta. But that said, a plushie is not going to be that critical hit that takes you out. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know how soft you are, how much soy you've had for dinner, but that.
I mean, he's not wrong about this as far as I know. I mean, I don't know that throwing a plushie at someone's going to get them an assault charge. Is that what Miskiff's alleging? Whammin'. Is he talking about that little girl who was aggressively kissed at some convention? He is talking about her, but I don't think he's talking about that situation specifically. That is Emiru. But I think he's talking about like something that a story she told about Miskiff that I haven't heard fully because I didn't watch that whole stream. Dude's in Florida too. He's certainly cooked. I don't know if Miskiff, maybe he is. I thought they were in like Texas or some shit. I don't know. Maybe not.
That is not going to get a police officer in Texas to go slap some cuffs on Emmy and drag her to the police station. That's not going to happen. And the fact that he thought his big bullet, his silver bullet, was those rabbits, is a joke. Now, animal cruelty is a crime. And so the thing he messed up on is he's accused her of a crime. So if she did not do that, that is clear defamation. So Emmy now has a claim, in addition to the IED, a clear defamation case, saying, hey, you are now accusing me of a crime, animal cruelty. right? Killing the rabbit.
I'm glad that we've settled that, Rude Crab. He's a passport bro in Thailand? Oh my god, this fucking guy. Weenie. Umbrea does not like that. Umbrea doesn't like passport bros.
The rabbits, right? That is not okay. And here's my thing for Miskiff. Miskiff, bro, if you are so dead set on saying the rabbits are a problem, why didn't you report it to animal control or the local, whatever the local authority is that oversees animal safety and health in your region, right? We talked about Hassan, Collargate. We all know about Collargate, and I helped out on Twitter, on X. I put out the information to contact the local animal services. So why didn't you contact animal services? If it's such
He put out information to call animal services on Hassan. I guess big people are doing that. That's nuts, though. What about rabbits? So, okay. So Emeru, from what I understand, and I'm sure people can give extra context. From what I understand, based on what I saw of the Emeru stream, she was saying that there was a point where Mizkif said if she came forward about certain things, that he was going to tell everyone that she either killed her rabbits or let her rabbits die, something to that effect. And so he's arguing that she engaged in animal cruelty. Mizkif is saying that she basically let these rabbits die or killed the rabbits. I'm not sure the exact phrasing that he used. I didn't watch Mizkif's response to any of this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the rabbits. I don't know if she's running a rescue. I have no idea. If I stream ever, I'm telling people I've never heard of Hassan based. But yeah, that's the rabbit situation in a nutshell.
Such a big deal, bro. Where's the report to animal services? Let's see it. Show me the Carfax. Oh, you didn't do that. You just want to talk about it for internet clout. You just want to get people on your side.
I gotta be honest. This guy's winning me over right now. Fuzzy says she had a few pet rabbits pass, and he threatened to make it seem like she caused their demise. Yes, exactly.
You want to bring up, your mental health as a defense, which isn't a joke. Mental health is a very serious thing, and people using it as a shield really undermines those that have legitimate mental health conditions. And it seems he may have even inflicted Emmy with a mental health condition, which would strengthen her IIED claim. So he really...
Did you watch the video I tagged you in yet? Grapefruit technique? Is that what you're talking about? This here in the share something? Bruh, what is this? Oh my god. You guys are ridiculous. Am I gonna... Okay.
Now this is my bonus technique.
This is what Growling Arachnid wants us to watch, guys. Growling Arachnid wants... He demands that we watch this video, okay? I don't know what this is. Some other grapefruit technique.
The grapefruit. Normally, you can only get this technique in one of my classes, but I wanted to share this with you because I believe every man should get grapefruited. When you grapefruit your man, it's going to feel as if you are giving him head and fucking him at the same time. No better feeling would he ever get than being grapefruited. So what you need to do is you...
What the fuck is this?
You need to, of course, have a grapefruit.
Oh, of course, obviously. What the fuck?
You want to make sure you get the ruby red. It's sweeter, it's easier. If you are allergic to
gotta be the ruby reds.
Grapefruit or can't use a grapefruit for your medication, you can always use a large navel orange. Now,
of course, you could always just use a navel orange, right, guys? There's always the navel orange option. Brandon, we are taking a brief detour from a legal mindset video on the Emeru and Mizkif drama. Our second detour, our first detour involved Charlie Kirk and his take on withdrawing consent and how it's a murky gray area. But now Growling Arachnid has demanded that we watch a video called The Grapefruit Technique. And so we're experiencing something here.
What you want to do is make sure the grapefruit is room temperature. All you have to do is put it in warm water. Do not microwave it. Do not boil it. Then, once it gets to that temperature, all you need to do is roll it. The reason why you want to roll it is because you want to juice it up a little bit. The juicier, the better. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find the navel. There's two
I like a juicy grapefruit. Okay.
navels to the grapefruit. Once you do that, you're going to place it on the plate, and the navel's on the outside. You want to take a knife, and you actually want to cut one side of that navel off. Now, all this that you're doing, he will not see any of this preparation because...
Don't let your man see this. Do not let your man see the prep that you're doing to the grapefruit. Will ruin the magic. She said, don't boil it, foul. I like a juicy grapefruit. I do like a juicy grapefruit.
Because I'm going to tell you that a little bit later. It's a trick. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take it to the other side and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I think I see where this is going. Oh, here comes Umbrian screaming. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my God. Oh, the acid. True. Yeah. Thank you, 9CMLZ4P1C. Umbrian, no. No. Hey. Sweet boy. Calm your wiener.
So you should have a grapefruit that has two sides missing, just like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put a hole in the middle of the grapefruit, approximately the size of your man's penis. Do not make it too big. Do not make it too tight. Just approximate. Then what you want to do is you're going to take the knife midway down and make sure it goes all the way through.
Not too
all you
big,
want
not
to do
too
is
small.
make a nice hole in the middle of the grapefruit. Now, if you take it and make it too big, that's okay because you can always squeeze your hands like the muscles of your vagina.
That's true. So if you make the hole in the grapefruit too big, you can squeeze it just like the muscles of your vagina. Short stack. It's very simple. If you make the hole too big, you can squeeze it just like the muscles of your vagina. Obviously. It's very simple. It's not that complicated.
And if you make it too tight, all you have to do is take your finger and push the flesh back. It's just grapefruit. Now, when you grapefruit your man, he has to be blindfolded. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. Why? If you came to the bedroom with a grapefruit, what is your man going to say? What are you going to do with that? Is it going to burn and all that other thing? So you don't want any of that. So this is what you do. Say, baby, you know what? Tonight, I want to do something a little freakier. I want to suck your dick blindfolded. Your man will blindfold himself if he knows he's going to get some head. So now.
I mean, can we ban whoever suggested this? I'm open to it. We can time growling out for a while for a nice dono. No, Hornet, you were late.
Now, your man is in the bed. You have the grapefruit already prepared under the bed. He smelled the citrus in the air. He thinks you have on some new Victoria.
So glad I deleted my old vids. This shit is embarrassing. Wait, what was your old vid? Hi, Leah. This is a terrible time for anyone to join the stream. We were covering very serious drama, and now we are in a nightmare situation. I'm just gonna leave the grapefruit hole and chill and use his piece as a spear. Jesus Christ, Fuzzy. Hands busy. Grapefruit already prepared. Is it grape if he's drunk when she grapefruit sneak attacks? Only as California Penal Code 261 Part 3 says, only if he is prevented from resisting by an intoxicating or anesthetic substance. Okay. Damn. Michelle. That's wild.
Victoria's Secrets or something. He has no idea. And what you're going to do is be a woman of your word. Now, you have to get his penis erect. So what you're going to do is just suck his dick. That's like you said you were going to do.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're done. We're done. Jesus fucking Christ. I was not... Dog. Okay. All right. That was Okay. Oh my god, dude. Okay, please. We have serious drama to address here. She went to work. That was completely unhinged. The slurp. Okay, let's finish this video. High above the trees. No one wants to work anymore. Oh my god. It sounded like a garbage disposal. What the fuck? Growling, you're banned. What the fuck, man? I'm gonna have abs from laughing so hard, but alright. Yo, like, subscribe, get yourself a membership. Gift a membership. Alright. Are you not entertained? Alright, back to the drama. No After Dark on Ryan's. I'll take that timeout now. Unironically, I'm putting you in timeout for 1 minute. Okay, we're punishing you. Motherfucker. If I was blindfolded and I heard that, I'd be very startled. Okay, stop. Let's be serious.
He hasn't reported it, and beyond that, if it was under his roof, he might also be liable for it. So that is not really a defense. So if you're keeping animals on your premise and they are abused, you might be liable for that. If you're the co-tenant at an apartment or a house and you are jointly leasing that or jointly renting that, you're liable for that. It's under your roof. It's happening there. So that is not the illegal bombshell he thinks it is. Now, if Emmy was lying about everything she said, which once again, I'm not saying she is, I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. If she was lying, then there would be a clear defamation case. Then he could clearly bring a defamation case. However, I don't think he wants all of the messages, text messages, emails, etc., to be obtained through subpoena if he files defamation. And I think this strategy of leaking information not only could constitute blackmail, but it's idiotic, it's childish, and once again, it's not official. None of this is actually official. It's just meant to try to destroy her character, destroy her reputation, which once again would just add to her damages if she ever tries to sue you, even for something like IIED. In fact, leaking information to damage someone's reputation, especially very personal information, yeah, that very much could be considered intentional infliction.
Where did Ride's comment go? Wait, I don't know. Let me see. I haven't seen Ride. Did you guys approve it? I don't see it. Are they fruit flies? They aren't really physically abused, but does verbal count? I guess so. It's down here. I don't see it. Jelly says, we're not going to hear about the time Ryan ate the person from the back and almost died. Wait, what? What? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I see. Wait, tomorrow on Rob Nord, degenerate leftists watch blowjob videos on stream. Okay, I see. I see it now. I see it. I thought Ride was. I was looking for another chatter, but yeah, rude. Yeah. I see what you're saying now, Jelly. Jesus, you guys. He's right though. That we're gonna be on Rob Nort, featured on Rob's stream.
Infliction of emotional distress. And so what I'm thinking with Miskiff and his absolute mockery of a counter is that you should be very concerned and lawyer up. And at this point, Emmy has a procedural, social, and evidentiary advantage based on what we've seen so far. Miskiff definitely needs a legal counter or he's in trouble. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Miskiff throw a lawsuit out there as a last-ditch gambit, as something, even Emmy said, a slap lawsuit, etc. Throw out some sort of lawsuit, which may be dismissed as it's filed, but it still would be a measure to try to stop this or cut back on this. We'll see what happens with that. A restraining order by itself is not going to be enough to end this dispute, and it's not going to be enough to put this to bed. There needs to be some other sort of action that's taken against whoever is responsible, once again being fair and neutral, likely Miskiff, right? But we don't know right now. There needs to be some sort of action officially taken with the police.
This is unironically how I feel about Hassan in Fallible Fell. Schrodinger's Hassan. Both bad and base at the same time. I that's like my genuine, sincere feelings about Hassan. Bad and base at the same time.
EOC, OSHA, civil lawsuit, something to close the chapter on this and to find out what exactly was going on and to get all those details out there. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think is in the right on this one? I know it's probably people are thinking Emmy based on most of the polls, but let me know in the comments below and I'll catch you on.
Okay. Queenman vid. Is it short? Is it a whole thing? Is it like a long video? Go ahead, post it again. If it's like long, I'm probably not going to play the whole thing. Because I have other content lined up. I still have 5 more videos on my list. I feel like we really got off track there. But that's the Emiru versus Emiru versus Miskiff fast facts from Legal Mindset. So I mean, you could at least you could boast about not getting poos through tolerance, because y'all know damn well Rob getting that again. Look, I don't. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. It's long, but don't watch it all unless I don't know. True. Then I might watch it. You never know.
Do you think?
Is there like a timestamp you want me to watch?
Do you think Antifa worldwide sleeper cells have been activated because you put out this one tweet that got 30k views? Like, I struggle to figure out whether this is a grift or genuine mental illness. I'm doing whatever the hell I want, Thailand style.
So even if it's a little bit gray area, right? If it's legal, it's okay, right? Just make it legal, right? If it's legal, it's okay. It's okay, right?
Is he? That feels like a sarcastic comment. Is he being silly there? From the start? Oh my god. Brandon says it's a cesspool, but it's good for exposure. Have you thought about streaming on TikTok too? I don't have the subscribers, or I don't have the followers. Don't you need 1,030k views?
But just legal.
Just totally invented stories of him getting fucking stalked at the grocery store.
And I just don't. I don't post on TikTok anymore, but I should. If it's legal, it's okay. Yeah, apparently. But it sounds. I don't know the context of him saying that.
Oh my god. All right, Legal Mindset has put out this totally insane video.
Oof.
Called "Free Kaya, Punish Hassan," and you might think the craziest part about this video would just be the fact that he's like trying to start some campaign to get a hold of Hassan's dog. To get a hold of Hassan's dog and dish out legal consequence on Hassan, which is like totally insane on the face of it, because obviously none of that's going to happen.
I need a wiggler.
Dog. To get a hold of Hassan's dog and dish out legal consequence on Hassan, which
I need to get myself one of those. He's a soapy massage boy. Could be.
is like totally insane on the face of it, because obviously none of that's going to happen. But no, the video's not even about that. The video's not even about that. The video is actually about the incoming Antifa threat on Legal Mindset's life. So we're going to take a look at this and see, you know, what's happening to Legal Mindset? What's got him so scared?
We could have a little Umbreon in the Wiggler too. That would be so cute. I mean, you guys aren't gonna like. I'm gonna use AI generated though. So.
Today, we're going to talk about placing a shock collar on Hassan as a form of punishment in the U.S. We're going to talk about shock collars in the U.S.
What was that Denim's tweet? Hang on. The Wiggler is this thing Cleveland has. This little guy in the bottom left corner. It's a Wiggler. It's for when he's not on screen, and it wiggles.
To get a hold of Hassan's dog.
It just wiggles. There's a Denims tweet from Collargate where she says Hassan should wear the collar, not to disprove the shock collar argument, not to show how it works, but for a secret third reason. Which is pretty funny, pretty banger, pretty much a banger tweet from Denims. Lover or hater, that's a good meme. It's a really funny tweet. So,
as if Hassan's gonna get charged with animal abuse. So I don't know why he thinks like Antifa. There's no radical group that is wasting their
fucking radical. He was talking about me.
Time going after people who post the California.
Oh, why didn't you guys tell me chat's broken? You might have. I just can't. Fixed it. USB shock collar. Can't trust Fuzzy. She's a freak. For the goon. The secret third reason.
California animal abuse statute and imply Hassan could go to prison for it. There's not a radical group on earth that is wasting their time with a tweet like that. It's like totally bizarre. It's a bizarre, even like mindset to present. The idea that he thinks that could be the case.
This on my social media about placing a shock collar on Hassan, that I think this is an appropriate punishment for him. And I think as a result, Antifa is already looking into me and sending.
Antifa. This is ridiculous. You guys are right. Skipped it forward? Yeah, I think I did. I might have skipped a few seconds, but whatever. He's saying Antifa's going after him because he wants Hassan to wear a shock collar or whatever. But okay.
Sending their thugs, sending people.
Antifa wants Hassan to wear a shock collar, as we just learned from Denims.
After me, so we'll talk about that today on this. It's a crazy topic. It's something I'm going to get a little bit emotional and personal about, but mostly because the last couple of days have been really difficult for me, being by myself out here and dealing with some crazy stuff, possible Antifa stalkers, woke white women.
Radical Coder, why is this Hassan shit still being talked about? Well, right now, just because it came up in the other Legal Mindset video we were watching, and Michelle demanded, yo, Jelly, welcome to Power's Play. Welcome, enjoy your Radical Coder channel membership. Thank you so much, Jelly. Enjoy. You have access to the care emote, the baby Umbreon. But yeah, Cameron, it literally is just because we watched a different video that referenced this one, and so we tuned into Queeman talking about it. Hey, Apex Hacker. By the way, if you guys want to have these awesome emotes that are lots of fun, can express a lot of feelings, personality. There's even a silly goose. You can spam. There's all sorts of fun stuff. And you can use those if you get a membership. But you can't use them without a membership. So what are you going to do? Presumably, you'll get a membership. I would hope. But yeah, thank you, Jelly. Leading by example. I'm already, honestly, this is funny, but I'm like already bored.
White women stalkers. This is something we're going to get into with collaring Hassan. Of course, I've got a PP. For new viewers, that means a PowerPoint. Nothing bad, nothing dirty. It means a PowerPoint. So we're going to talk.
I can't do it, guys. I'm switching up. Michelle, is there something we're getting to? I'll just play for now.
Talk about that today on the Legal Mindset. Once again, this is a fast facts video, so the quick and dirty version of the latest legal news. I'll have a live where we go more in depth. I'm going to play.
So that's the other thing. Is this the fast facts? Now I've watched some Legal Mindset fast facts videos before. They're usually about 5 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes at a push. This is 26 minutes long. And
Op? PP. I have a big PP. There's a 5-minute PP.
I honestly don't know if there's a single like legal fact stated in this. I guess slavery is still legal. He gets onto that at one point because part of this video is also about Asmongold's recent take, where Asmongold.
Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino arrives at federal courthouse. The chance of lock him up has to show up daily at 6 p.m. Ooh. Op is other people's pussy. Noted. Good chant. Good chant. We like when the left is yelling, lock him up.
It basically said that if you're charged with a crime at a protest, you should have your right to vote stripped and be forced into slavery. As in, like, into perpetuity, as in, like, you should never be able to vote again. If even if it's not a felony, just committing a crime at a protest means you lose your right to vote and are forced into slavery. So that's God's position. So legal mindset being like a...
Oh my god. Okay. I can't do it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Michelle in particular, who shared this. I can't get through it. He seems like a moron, obviously.
There's no more powerful voice.
So our next piece of content is Rachel Maddow breaking down Trump's shocking DOJ election moves. So we're going to get into some more serious politics. Is that Glitchin? Glitchin says Queeman's voice sucks. I disagree. I think Queeman has a nice voice, actually. I actually quite like Queeman's voice. I mean, you could have other criticisms of him, but I feel like his voice is fine. So, once again, we are watching another video. This is Rachel Maddow breaks down Trump's shocking DOJ election move from Democracy Docket. But before we dive in, we're going to copy the URL, hop over to our Data Flow Canvas app, and get the transcript. I don't think that's what we watched, Glitchin. That's crazy. That is not what stealthing means. That's insane. Here was our bingo card for the Emaru Mizkif legal mindset video. Okay. Now let's do a different kind of game, but in the same vein as the bingo board. Use the transcript to uniquely design a intuitive, similar system / game to play while watching the video. Here's the transcript. It's tantamount for stealthing? No, absolutely not. What the fuck? No, not even close. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's no more powerful voice in the media for democracy than Rachel Maddow. She is a legendary figure at MSNBC, but really a cultural phenomenon. Well, I had the opportunity to be on with her to talk about some really important issues. Department of Justice lawyers are being sent by Pam Bondi to California and New Jersey ahead of the November 4th elections. That's next Tuesday. And they're going to monitor those elections. I had a lot to say about why this should be raising a 5-alarm fire bell in everyone's mind. And you know what? Rachel was right there with me. So I'm going to show you the clip in which we talk.
So before he does, I just had to show you guys what Umbreon looks like right now. I couldn't quite get it. That's hilarious. Umbreon just looks absolutely hilarious right now, and I have to show you guys. Look at him. Look how cute. The ASMR at the end was the only part she shouldn't be jailed for. Jesus Christ. We need a puppy cam. It was something I wanted to set up at one point, but it's still in the cards. I gotta reorganize some things. Umbreon place lightning bolts. Anyway. Oh, let's see if the game finished. Yes, here we go. Democracy tug of war. So we click on each one of these, I guess. Whenever they come up.
Talk about all of this. And then I'm going to come back and offer a lot more context about this and why I think this may be the biggest issue right now for you to be followed.
After the Trump administration announced it was sending poll monitors to California and
what's going to take for the Umbreon cam? I just need to like clean up my room a little bit because I have a camera that I have a Wise camera that like will follow him. It's like a motion capture camera. In theory, I actually have another one. I could maybe set up. Oh, just keep asking me about it. Chilean ASMR session with a grapefruit. Jesus Christ, no. Just keep reminding me that you guys want an Umbreon cam, and I will be more likely to do it. And especially if you give me money, that makes me extra more likely, like way more likely.
in New Jersey, poll monitors who will answer to Trump Attorney General Pam Bondi. Democratic elections lawyer Mark Elias wrote this. He said, quote, they are sending these DOJ officials to the polls to do Trump's bidding, to gather information for him and his administration to misuse and wage war on voters and elections. I cannot tell you exactly what form that will take. Trump may not even know how he plans to abuse this process. But I know this. Minority voters will not be protected. Voting rights will not be preserved. Free and fair elections will not benefit. Trump will exploit whatever he can under the guise of security or integrity. It is our job to not give him the opportunity. Joining us now is Mark Elias, the founder of Democracy Docket, an elections attorney involved in suing the Trump administration over voting rights and a host of other issues. Mr. Elias, it's nice to see you. Thanks very much for taking time to be here tonight.
Thanks for having me back.
So let me ask you just what that means that you wrote today. It is our job not to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, so look, Donald Trump has telegraphed what he's doing here in broad strokes. Yesterday, he posted on social media that he already believes there's fraud in California. You know, he said that, watch how totally dishonest the California prop vote is, millions of ballots being shipped. Like, that's.
Yeah, so he's already setting the stage, basically, as he did previously. His Nazism one-on-one. Why does law enforcement's presence have to be there for voting? Oh, yeah. That's scary, yeah. J.B. Pritzker says, or Polygraph says, J.B. Pritzker said, not everything is a both sides issue. When someone's breaching the Constitution, it needs to be called out. The last point in the video is also important. True. Hey, Panelverse. Come on, people, let's go ahead and hit that like button. True, we are aiming for 30 likes on this stream. It would be really nice. We're only 7 away. If you haven't liked the stream yet, it would be really cool if you help us get to 30 likes. It would be a nice number for me to see. We're already 24 after I just said that. Or I'm sorry, no, that's the viewers. 23 likes still, 23 likes, but you could help us get to 30 just by liking the stream. Super easy. If you can't support with your funds, please support us with your thumbs. But if you can support us with your funds, then obviously super chats are one way to do that. There are super stickers, which I will describe to you. There's also memberships, which we love memberships. If you already have a membership or you just want to spread the love, you can gift Radical Coder channel memberships. That is one of the best ways to support the channel. Highly awesome. I also have, Cash App and all that fun stuff. There's even an Umbreon Patreon, !Umbreon. There is actually an Umbreon fan club Patreon if you want to support me off of this platform. Thanks, Jelly. Didn't realize we support the fake news mainstream media here. Well, sometimes we do. In fact, I think our next video is, oh no, not the next one, but the one after that is Anna Kasparian on CNN. So
that's the predicate he is laying down before these monitors start to collect whatever information they collect. And that information will be mischaracterized, it'll be misused, it'll be abused.
Bad news, Avoided Hornet. Avoided Hornet says, listen, we may be becoming North Korea, but hey, at least our electric bills will go down. Electric bills aren't going down. Just letting you know. Don't count on that.
So that Donald Trump, when that ballot initiative passes, as it will claim that there was massive fraud. And when Mikey Sherrill wins in New Jersey, he will claim there was massive fraud. And he will use that as the jumping off point for the 2026 election when he is really worried that he is going to lose power.
Which, if we have free and fair elections at that point, he will obviously lose a lot of power. Because people don't fucking like what's going on.
When he makes those sort of claims, will it matter, or how will it matter, that the Justice Department will have sent these federal election monitors in? How will that, if you see that as his strategy moving ahead with these elections, these off-year elections this year, moving in towards 2026, how do the federal election monitors affect that?
Yeah, so remember, I have a lot of experience suing and litigating against Donald Trump. I mean, I represented Joe Biden and we beat him like a drum over 60 times after 2020. What's different this time is that he will have the United States government, the Department of Justice, show up in courtrooms and say preposterously false things, but that will be given the premature.
Oh, the joke is that North Korea has so many
of the United States.
So, by the way, I made this app. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the bingo board. Yeah, I didn't catch that either. Like, it just kind of goes back and forth as as each one comes up, which I feel like all these things are going to come up. So it's going to end up in the middle, right? Maybe back to the bingo board style.
States. And look, Rachel, this is a problem we're seeing across the country. I mean, they are claiming that they need the National Guard and the military deployed in cities because he says they're on fire when in fact there is no fires. And too many judges, frankly, are still giving DOJ the benefit of the doubt. So the difference here and the reason why the DOJ being involved and these monitors being involved is so problematic is because our judicial system is still set up to believe that when Department of Justice lawyers show up and say, we found X, that in fact they found X. When they say Y is true, that Y is true. When in fact, as you pointed out in your introduction, which was excellent, these are not career officials working for a normal Justice Department. They are working for Pam Bondi and ultimately for the White House.
Okay. So now we've got a new bingo board for this video. We're already a little bit in, so let's see if we can find the ones that were mentioned. DOJ poll monitors, pretty sure that came up. 5-alarm fire. Beat him like a drum. He said that about Joe Biden and him. His representation of Joe Biden. Okay.
What's the best strategy against what you think Trump is doing here?
So I think it's twofold. I think number one, it is for there to be public awareness, right? So that we can pre-butt the misinformation and the disinformation that he is going to spread to try to create an environment that allows him to create.
Learning is radical.
Mischief, like I said, in 2026. The second thing, though, is we need to broaden the aperture. You know, in your last segment, you talked about privacy and the fact that they're building a national database. Well, my law firm is also involved in six.
Right.
Is we need to broaden the aperture. You know,
what does that mean? Broaden the aperture. Oh, to widen your perspective, seek more inputs, loosen focus, reframe constraints. Oh, okay, sure.
In your last segment, you talked about privacy and the fact that they're building a national database. Well, my law firm is also involved in in 8 cases where the Department of Justice is trying to collect voter data on every single American. Every single American who's ever registered to vote, the Department of Justice is trying to collect that data from all 50 states. And why are they collecting that? They're not collecting it to make elections easier. They're not collecting it to make people safer. They're collecting it because as they head towards 2026, they want to be able to weaponize that data along with a lot of other information that they've collected for a lot of bad reasons, including to try to make the 2026 elections less free and fair. So what we need to do is we need to be prepared for that fight. We need to stand up tall against it. We need to litigate against it. But most importantly, we need to know it's happening so that we can explain and contextualize this to our friends and our families, our clients, our customers, our bowling partners, and our bridge partners.
Mark, let me also ask you about a new lawsuit that you filed today in New York. This is a challenge, effectively, to New York's congressional map. My read on this is that this puts New York in the mix in terms of states that may essentially redistrict their congressional map for partisan advantage because of the way that Trump has insisted that red states must do it. Democratic-controlled states now trying to fight back on those same lines.
Yeah, and I make no apologies for that. I mean, the fact is my law firm and we are involved now in 8 different lawsuits in 8 different states involving congressional lines.
She just said rig the maps, right? Did she just say rig the maps? No, not yet.
Everything from Alabama and Mississippi to Missouri to Texas and now New York, and I expect that number will grow in the coming days. What we've identified in New York is that the districts that were drawn, at least one of them does not comply with state law, and therefore we are suing. And we think it is important that this case be heard quickly and that the result be a new redrawn map by the state legislature. And like I said, I make no apologies for standing up against what Donald Trump is trying to do, while also not agreeing that we are going to unilaterally disarm, because that will be the death knell of democracy.
So it's me and Rachel Maddow. As I promised, we covered a lot of ground, and I hope you followed along. But I want to offer some additional context to
Your sound and image doesn't line up no more? Really? Interesting. Think your video slows down? Huh. Is it better if I do that? Does it matter? I don't know what I can do about that. Oh, it's fixed? Okay. Cool.
a few of the pieces of what we talked about. So let's start with the question of these election monitors. You know, one of the things that I have been trying to caution everyone about, that I've been repeatedly sort of trying to drill home, is that this is not the Department of Justice that we're used to, right? Like if this was the Merrick Garland Department of Justice, even if this was the Bill Barr Department of Justice from the first Trump administration, right? Which was like, he was no walk in the park. But even if it was that, we'd say, okay, they're sending poll monitors because they want to make sure that there are no, you know, irregularities in counties with historic problems, or that they don't want to make sure minority voters are not being discriminated against. But we know that's not what's happening here. Like Donald Trump told us that that's not what's happening, because he's already said that there will be a, quote, totally dishonest election in California. He's already said that, quote, millions of ballots are being, quote, shipped, close quote. By the way, I'm not really sure what Donald Trump means by that. I mean, would he otherwise expect that all...
Yeah, it seems like Fuzzy had to deal with it too. Apex says, yeah, it's clear this man does not care about litigation. It may be time to head up on out of here until he's gone. Are you talking about Trump? Potentially.
That all the voters would go to wherever the ballots were printed. Like, of course they're shipped, right? They have to be shipped out to county offices. They have to be shipped out to voters who are voting by mail. So this is like a way in which Donald Trump is already trying to sow the idea that there were irregularities when there aren't going to be any.
Which is the same thing he did in 2020. In fact, did we know that Hercules is actually the Roman pronunciation of its original Heracles? I feel like I did know that somehow.
And that's because he knows he's going to lose this in California, and it's going to be embarrassing for him. Now, earlier today, I had someone ask me, but how's he going to claim fraud? And I pointed out that after the 2026 election, okay, which, by the way, he won, right? He became president of the United States. He claimed that he actually would have won California, but for illegal votes. You can go Google it. You can go look it up. That's for real. He actually said that he thought he had won California, except for illegal votes. The man is both deranged, but he knows how to weaponize his deranged misinformation to create a movement of election denialism. I mean, if there's one thing that he has been successful in doing within the Republican Party is building a cult of election denialism. It is actually, if you think about it, the only through line of everyone in the MAGA cult, right? You have some free traders in the MAGA cult. You even have some pro-choice people in the MAGA cult. I mean, after all, the HHS secretary, Kennedy, used to be pro-choice, at least. The only thing you can't be in the MAGA cult is not be an election denier, right? So he's going to use these election monitors and the information he gets from them, or frankly, he may just even make up information that he doesn't get from them to claim that there were widespread fraud and irregularity. Now, why did he pick California and New Jersey? This was something I didn't get to because there wasn't enough time with Rachel, but he picked them because he's very committed to the governor's race in New Jersey. He's very committed, obviously, to the redistricting, rigging the maps. And he knows he can't win in Virginia, but also there's a Republican governor in Virginia. So it's more awkward. So New Jersey got a Democratic governor, obviously Gavin Newsom in California. So it's easier to pick on those two states. Plus, he thinks he has a better chance in New Jersey than does in Virginia. So that's why you're not seeing these election monitors in Virginia. Okay, but the fact is, these folks are going to be there. And like I said, whether they act in good faith or bad faith, Donald Trump's going to weaponize it. And he's going to weaponize it now, but he's also going to use that information to sort of test the fence for 2026, when we're going to see a lot more of these election monitors in a lot more jurisdictions. And they're likely to be much more aggressive. Because for Donald Trump,
that's really scary.
That's really the prize. It's not what happens in California or New Jersey in the off year. It's what happens when control of Congress is on the line. And if there's one thing Donald Trump fears, it is a Democratic Congress where you have a whole bunch of Democratic members of Congress wielding gavels and speeds.
That's what we need. We need that. That it is not optional. Not optional to have a Democratic Congress leaving 2026.
And so that is what's going on with this monitor thing. Now, if you noticed, though, I tried to broaden the conversation a little bit to also talk about how this is part of a larger movement, for example, to get access to voting records for every American, right? It's not like it's just the poll monitors. It's not like just the fact that he keeps posting on social media that he wants to ban mail-in voting or that he wants national ID, or more recently, he doesn't want anyone to vote early in person. I mean, think about that.
Libby says, I just can't believe no one has come forward to fight this admin. This is exactly how to take over the country, what they are doing. I mean, to be fair, I mean, there are, obviously there are, a lot of court battles going on right now. There are a lot of, credit where credit's due. There are a lot of people working really hard to fight what's happening right now. It's pretty easier said than done. Why can't we just go against the law and do whatever we want? Because Trump is in charge. Well, yeah, exactly. If you do that, if you go against the law and do whatever you want, as long as you are a Trump loyalist, you can do that. You will be allowed. The crime is legal if you are a Trump loyalist. You will get pardoned, or you'll get they'll drop your charges, whatever it is, as long as you do what Trump wants you to do. If he can use you, it's still disjointed though. Yeah, for sure.
That. What would the voting experience be like if everyone in the country had to vote on one day, on election day?
But when he just breaks the law, what can we do except break the law? Well, I guess one of the main issues you run into there is that if we break the law, we don't get the pardon for it. We don't get it is genuinely is horrifying. There is a double standard in the American justice system right now. And it is pro-Trump. It is a pro-Trump double standard, and we have to figure out how to navigate that. Michelle says, honestly, if Trump doesn't follow the law, just fucking overthrow it, since it's a criminal government. I mean, number one, easier said than done. Even if I support the sentiment, which I'm not 100% sure I do at the moment. Input Output says the Election Truth Alliance makes some compelling case for voter fraud by machine tally. Interesting. Might have to check that out. Centralization of power to the executive branch is a lot more concerning to me. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm scared too, Libby. If Trump stays after 2028, we are in a very different scenario. I think it's night and day. I mean, we're definitely like, I think we should be prepared for a world where Trump is staying after 2028. But I am hopeful we don't have to live in that world, but I do think it's a real outcome of all this. Polygraph says, as much as I hate to try to bridge the gap with people I really disagree with and frankly think are un-American, the right who aren't fascists need to be called down, basically. Yep. Unironically. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Austin Krasinski. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I 100% agree. The ones that can't need to be seriously dealt with going forward. Libby says, I dream about the end of the movie Civil War when a soldier on the good side takes out the prez. Yeah, that's I've seen that scene. I haven't watched that full movie, but I watched the scene, and I watched that final scene, like the whole like White House when they're entering the White House or whatever, and I watched the scene with the guy who played Todd in Breaking Bad, where he's like, "What kind of American are you?" that was a crazy one. Michelle says, I just think the people opposing Trump are too shy to cheat, considering they're playing Monopoly with someone taking money from the bank. Input Output says, Goon afternoon. Goon afternoon indeed. We are not prepared for that because it's America. Well, yeah. Goon afternoon, everyone.
In person. I mean, first of all, the states don't have enough voting equipment to do that. They don't have enough locations to do that. So it's just literally a recipe for disaster, which is what Donald Trump wants the elections to be, because it's easier for him to then claim reasons why he is cheating on the back end. See, that's why I'm saying this all kind of fits together, each piece of this. And so I love going on Rachel because I can talk about, a critical piece of it. But one of the reasons why I started Democracy Docket in 2020 was to help you put these pieces together. And so do me a favor. I've already asked you to subscribe to this channel, but also in the notes to this video, there is a link you can click on to become a Democracy Docket subscriber. It's how we reach people through newsletters, some of which are free to everyone. You can also become a premium member for $10 a month and get extra content, but take a second and do that. Now, the second topic, big topic that we covered briefly, but importantly, was about redistricting. And I hope you got my message. Okay? I made no apologies for writing hard.
I've been hearing National Guard saying they will refuse. That's good news. I mean, it's going to be a scary situation when that's happening, but they'll be on the correct side of history, right? I'd appreciate seeing many of them do that. If term limits was added in the 1950s, it's not what the founders intended. Republicans in 2028. Yep, exactly. What panel verse? What, the Panelverse? Panelverse says, chicken butt woo bada boom. Thank you, Panelverse, for that. Cody with the sippin' Squirtle emote. Good to see you. Good to see your sippin'. Good to see your Squirtle. Trump instructed the DOJ to not pursue right-wing threats or on left-wing folks. Yep. That's basically what's happening. I didn't see that specifically, like word for word, but is Dave still a Trumper? Who's Dave? Oh, Emp Dave? I don't know. I never really talked to him about politics, if that's what you're talking about. Pac-Man had Election Truth Alliance on 2 times now? Oh, interesting. I might have to check that out. Yeah. Fuzzy B is a legend. Yeah, Emp Dave. Yeah, I don't know. Me and him never really talked about politics, which is interesting. Because we did a whole coding with Coder thing where I was teaching him how to code for like we did like 3 weeks in a row. Good stuff. Nice guy. I didn't know until like way later that he was like a right-wing dude. I never realized that because we just never talked about it.
I mean, yeah, I'm suing New York because they broke the law. There are 8 states in all that were involved in this litigation. And it is critical because, look, if Donald Trump can rig the maps, if he could just decide that he can mid-cycle redistrict and create Republican seats and Democrats just sit by and play by the old rules, they'll have a majority in the House for the foreseeable future. And the Senate is already a challenge, although I'm feeling better about our chances in the Senate in 2026. But we have to play hard. We have to fight hard. We have to fight with every tool available.
Fight like hell, you might say.
So that's why I said I'm making no apologies about suing New York. I know it's a Democratic state. I know it's got Democratic elected officials. Too bad. I've sued New York before and won. So they're used to that. And like I said, you're going to see that take place in other states as well, because that's what we have to do. So just taking this whole picture together, she asked what we all can do. And obviously there are things I can do as a lawyer, but the biggest thing I do is something you can do. The biggest thing I do is I speak out.
Speaking out. And if you want to support me speaking out, one way to do that is by liking the stream, which, by the way, we're at 25 likes. Only 5 more to reach our goal of 30 likes for the stream, which would be really cool to see. It would make me very happy. It would increase the amount of dopamine being released in my brain, which will make me feel good. And by making me feel good, you are supporting the stream and encouraging me to come back, because I will associate streaming with the positive feelings that the dopamine provides me. So liking the stream, it goes a very long way towards encouraging me to continue. Another thing that helps is giving me money. Receiving money is awesome. And not only does it feel good, it also lets me buy things that make me feel good, like food, and food for Umbreon as well. He also really likes food. It's one of his favorite things in the world, if you can believe it. And also gifting memberships, which is other ways to give me money. Again, great things to do. And also, you get things by giving me money in those cases. Like, number one, in a super chat, you get to see your words in a big, beautiful gold gradient on the screen, which is very pretty, very fun, very new, very pog. And also, getting a membership unlocks awesome emotes, which are very cool. Come here, Umbreon. Here we go. Umbreon. Michelle with the super sticker. Oh, cool. It pops up as a super chat here, too, which is very cool. Yes. Michelle with the pear dancing and blushing, wearing a gym band. Very cute. Very adorable. Thank you, Michelle, for the Canadian $2. The 2 loonies. Very Pavlov. Yes. Pavlo. Very Pavlo. Okay, so Umbreon. Yeah. Here he is. Here he is. Like the stream, love the stream. Dogs like food? This one does. Although he's actually really good. Like I can keep food in his bowl, and he doesn't like there's like kibble in his bowl right now, is what I'm getting at. Like, he will have food in his bowl and not eat it immediately, which is pretty cool. What do you think about Zoran Mamdani? I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a good candidate. I think he seems like a stand-up dude. I like it. I'm very sympathetic to his policies. It seems like a reasonable guy. Seems like he's aggressively fighting for to support people who need it in effective ways. Yeah, I don't know. I like him. I think he understands the assignment. And I trust him to stand up to the people who need to be stood up against right now. So again, look at that beautiful gold gradient. Sassafras with the Canadian leaves. Hello, Canadian leaves. Thank you for the toonie. Appreciate the toonie. Toonie loony. That means he prefers treats to his kibble. Well, he does that. Well, yeah, that's true. But that's okay, because he will eat the kibble when he gets hungry enough. He just doesn't eat it immediately. But whenever he gets hungry, he'll sit there and he'll munch through his kibble. But yeah, you're right. He prefers the treats. And if we get 30 likes, which we are, again, 3 away, I will, in fact, give him some treats. Yes, we're very happy to see Sass.
I don't get afraid. I don't get discouraged, and I don't get hopeless. I'm realistic. I understand the challenges. Like, believe me, nobody understands the challenges of what's going on right now in democracy better than I do. But I don't let that make me sit and do nothing. Instead, it motivates me to fight harder and to speak out more. So each and every one of you right now can share this video with a friend. Each and every one of you can.
We have an office dog named Boomer who looks like Wishbone. I love Wishbone. Those guys are so cute. Very cute. Infallible Foul with the Raiders cat, little box cat. I didn't know that was like a YouTube emote. I guess it is, yeah. No one understands. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I thought the same thing. I was like, man, this is some PF Young shit.
You can post this on social media. Each and every one of you can subscribe to Democracy Now! But also share its content to your friends. And, Democracy Now! Is just one of many pro-democracy news outlets.
Here is a video we were watching.
But we all have to be sharing.
By the way, we hit 30 likes. So, the Raiders cat emote. If I fit, I sits. Yeah, we have 30 likes. You know what that means? Umbreon. You want your favorite beef liver? He loves his beef liver. I call him his nummies. You want your nummies? This is his favorite. His absolute favorite. So, it's absolutely disgusting. They smell fucking terrible, and I hate them. But he loves them. Come here. You want this? Come here. You want to eat it up here? Why do you keep running away? Come here. He wants it. There you go. Yes, good boy. You want more? Okay. Give you another one. Here's one. Okay, one more. No mas. That's my good boy, oh. That's my good boy. Loves his nummies. Oh. Here, I'll throw a couple more in his bowl. I'm gonna feel good. No mas. Ow. Not the bonk. Look at that. If we get to 40, then I might give him one of his dental sticks. How is he not a bigger chonker? Because I don't give him treats just willy-nilly. He was so excited. He wiggles like crazy. He whimpered. Food sounds detected. Pokemon Go walks. True. He does get long walks. He does get long walks daily.
This information about what's happening. We have to educate ourselves and our friends and our family and our bridge club and our bowling leagues. We have to share this information because it is ultimately an informed public that will have the information and the spine to stand up against Donald Trump, even when so many powerful people are bowing down. That will go down as one of the great moral crises of our day. But the fact that millions of Americans are not bowing down and are standing up instead and are willing to take this fight, are willing to show up at No Kings protests, are willing to stand in line to vote, are willing to support these.
Honestly, I've said this before. I'll say it a million times. Like the No Kings protests, both of them, No Kings and No Kings 2.0, so fucking inspiring. Like so. I mean, you spend a lot of time. I have MAGA family, so I spend time with my MAGA family, and also, you spend a lot of time online arguing with all these fucking psychos and all these like MAGA sycophants, and it can feel extremely disheartening. And seeing all the stuff that's going on, it's all very disheartening. It's all very scary. But like going out to a No Kings protest, 1.0 and 2.0, seeing. At No Kings 1.0, it was hundreds of people. No Kings 2.0, it was thousands of people. Just standing up, making signs, marching together, wearing awesome inflatables, doing so many creative ways to show that like, hey, we don't like what's going on. And it's just like normal people of all ages, like lots of boomers, Really good to see lots of boomers out there, but yeah, not just like young people, but like people of all ages who are just like, hey, this is fucking crazy, and we don't like it, and we are gonna make our voice. It's just inspiring to like remember that there's so many people who don't like what's happening. I don't, it's, yeah, it's nice.
These redistricting efforts, and yes, are willing to subscribe to pro-democracy news outlets like Democracy Docket. This
Absolutely,
is what we have to do to build community over the next few years, because we're going to have our good days, we're going to have our bad days. I think next Tuesday is going to be a good day. I think we're going to do well in these. But you know what? There are going to be tough days ahead. Donald Trump is dismantling this country's democracy. He is putting the military on the streets. He is building up a police force in ICE the size that we have never seen before. He is attacking free and fair elections. He is claiming powers he does not have. He is literally bulldozing parts of the White House. So, we're going to have those bad moments. We're going to have those times when all feels like it's too much. And the way we're going to get through that is by being in community with one another, sharing this information with one another. And that's why I do these videos. That's why
learning is radical. That's what he's about to say. I'm going to skip over the part where he says learning is radical, because it's copyrighted by me, so I have to skip over that part. But he says that right here. He says learning is radical.
I go on MSNBC. Lord knows I got enough law to do that I could use the free time. But I do this because it's really important to hopefully, like I said, build community and get information out. So do me one last favor. Leave a comment. Is this video helpful to you?
I think it was pretty helpful. But I did miss, look, we were playing bingo and we missed a few. So wage war on voters. Let's find that. Let's pull up the transcript. Let's complete our bingo card. So wage war on voters. Okay, it was in the first minute.
Wage war on voters and elections. I cannot tell you exactly what form that will.
Okay, so we got that. And then there was career officials. Career officials. It's just a bingo card. I'm taking the transcripts from the videos we watch and turning them into a bingo card that we can look at while we are watching the video.
These are not career officials working for a normal justice.
Okay, so he's saying they're not career officials working for a normal justice department. He's talking about, what was he talking about here? These are people working for Pam Bondi in the White House. Yeah, the current.
They're
DOJ.
working for Pam Bondi and ultimately for the White House.
So we got career officials, and then is premature of the United States. What is that? Premature.
Things, but that will be given the premature of the United States. And look, Rachel, this is a problem.
What is the premature of the United States? What does that mean? The premature of the United States. What does the premature United States mean? Growling sass, you don't want to do that. I advise against it. I advise against following Growling's advice. No, I don't know what he meant. I don't know what he meant there.
Rooms and say preposterously false things, but that will be given the premature of the United States.
Context. Not the grapefruit. Frogs together strong. If Trump declares a national martial law, would that negate local law enforcement from any power? I'm not sure. In that quote, they meant the imprimatur of the United States. They're using imprimatur, not premature. Imprimatur means an official stamp of approval or authority. So the line means the government and the DOJ might say false things, but those claims will carry the weight and perceived legitimacy of the United States authority. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. See, bingo card, helpful. Helps us pick up things we missed and learn a little more. And if you guys can believe it, learning is radical. Not the grapefruit. Oh, Eva, you missed the grapefruit section. Consider yourself blessed. Enjoy your blissful ignorance. You might know the meme. It is a sussy timestamp. It's pretty crazy. I would not recommend it. Telegraphed what he's doing. Let's find that quote as well. Telegraphed.
Yeah, so look, Donald Trump has telegraphed what he's doing here in broad strokes. Yesterday, he posted on social media that he already believes there's fraud in
Okay. Thank you, Democracy Docket, and thank you, chat, for enjoying that video with me. It is now time for a break. I need a break. I need a short break. So what we're going to do is throw up maybe the Umbreon animation. The Be Right Back. Put the nighttime one. Umbreon. I'm going to play maybe the Umbreon song. I was like, no, keep going. She's taking notes. Wait, what are you talking about? Throw up? Yeah, I'm going to go throw up. We're going to play the Umbreon song. And then we'll do Win and Wiener, which is also another Umbreon song. And then maybe Orange Man Bad. If we're not back in time, then we'll do Orange Man Bad. But we'll probably be done before then. I'll probably be back before then, but okay.
Dog with the long mane, short legs, but he top of the game. Eyes glisten, got that midnight flame. Tail wagging, bringing joy, no shame. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Cruising the block, Lil' King. Umbreon, dog with the long mane, short legs, but he top of the game. Eyes glisten, got that midnight flame. Tail wagging, bringing joy, no shame. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Cruising the block, Lil' King on the scene. Got that flow, smooth fur, look at me. In a world of pain, he's the serene Umbreon, always chasing the dream. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Lil' Coder in the house, bring the vibes. Umbreon's my dog, we live 9 lives. Code it up, roll it up, no disguise. Real recognize, real love never dies. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song. Coder in the house, bring the vibes. Umbreon's my dog, we live 9 lives. Code it up, roll it up, no disguise. Real recognize, real love never dies. Umbreon, heart so strong with you, I know I belong. Running through the night till dawn, life's a party, you my favorite song.
Haters get a verse from the wiener that I win with. Got some competition, maybe you should pay attention. Wieners in the back and they going in succession.
Haters get a verse from the wiener that I win with. Underestimate advice that you are getting. Got them ladies in the back and they are getting jealous. They hate us. must know I'm winning. Who knew winning was a race? Wiener and we winning. Who could've known that I'd inspire all this competition? They mad cause they losing, maybe you should pay attention. Let me show you what I just discovered. Everybody winning, and they be hating on the others. See what competition has become of people. Bring out the worst side and evil at their core like beagles. Told her, baby, I'm winning. I'll say it again, they know we ain't kidding like I told her, baby, I'm winning. I'll say it again, they know we ain't kidding like yeah, there ain't no predicates for finding better talent with your L's. We do it effortlessly cause I'm captain, I'm the captain. Orange hue, the headlines scream. Power grab, a broken dream. Watchdogs gone, the system bends. Justice twisted where it ends. Promises whispered, lies unfold. A gilded cage, a story told. He claims a mandate, whispers loud, but cracks are showing in the crowd. Is this the land where freedom rings, or just the echo of puppet strings? He rewrites rules, a tyrant's hand, across the nation, shifting sand. Accountability, a fading word, the truth distorted, barely heard. He shields himself, a king's disguise, while democracy slowly dies. No policy, no left or right, just shadows creeping in the night. He's not above, he's not the law, a broken system destined to fall. Trade wars raging, prices soar, empty pockets wanting more. Lies abandoned, left to bleed, while autocrats plant their wicked seed. From border walls to broken trust, a nation's spirit turned to dust. The silenced voices start to rise, reflecting anger in their eyes. Is this the land where freedom rings, or just the echo of puppet strings? He rewrites rules, a tyrant's hand, across the nation, shifting sand. Accountability, a fading word, the truth distorted, barely heard. He shields himself, a king's disguise, while democracy slowly dies. No policy, no left or right, just shadows creeping in the night. He's not above, he's not the law, a broken system destined to fall.
Anyway, I do actually listen to Fall Out Boy a lot. Not as much recently. But I love Fall Out Boy. Accountability, a fading word. It's just the echo of puppet strings. That's right. It gets stuck in your... It's good. It's actually good. I don't have any eyeliner, but I'll think about it. I don't really listen to Nirvana very much. I don't dislike Nirvana. I just don't really listen to them. What are you laughing at, Eva? You can't not love Fall Out Boy. Did someone here say they don't like Fall Out Boy? I'll ban them from my chat. Truth distorted, barely heard. Michelle knows all the lyrics. I love it. I love it. He shields himself, a king's disguise, while democracy slowly dies. No policy, no left or right. Oh, am I singing? Don't laugh at me. Oh, you can only laugh with me, not at me. Wiener. How we doing, chap? How are we doing? Favorite artist, Ryan? 3, 2, 1. It's Fall Out Boy, The Wonder Years, Motion City Soundtrack, Modern Baseball, Panic at the Disco's up there. There's more Mac Miller, Chance the Rapper. I like Kendrick a lot too. I listen to a lot of Sabrina Carpenter currently. Really like Sabrina. Dominic Fike's really good too. That's just a handful of ones that pop into my head. Used to be a really big All Time Low fan. I still like All Time Low a lot. I don't listen to their new stuff really. I was about to say, if he doesn't say Kendrick, I'm a scream. No, I've been a Kendrick fan for a long time. Since like 2016, maybe? Umbreon's freaking out because someone just came home. So he just heard the garage door open and he's about to hear it close. And then he's going to scream whenever they walk in through the door. Anyway, the content must go on. Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. Sass is joining us for joining you guys for Love Is Blind. Here he goes. Here he goes. See. What am I gonna do with this dog? Do you guys think I should sell him? You know, does anyone know anyone who's in the market for the cutest wiener dog alive? She's already seen. This dog. It could be Sass is joining us, but you never come. Damn. Damn. You'll take him? Alright. Umbreon. You're going with Jelly now. Just way ahead of you cats. That's crazy. You guys got to keep up with Sass. Let's see. So we just made it through Rachel Maddow on Democracy Docket. I guess it was the other way around. It was Democracy Docket on Rachel Maddow, but I thought it was the other way around. Anyway, our next video is Trump suing himself. Dun dun dun. Radical Coder, have you watched Love Is Blind? I have not. I've been invited a couple times now, but I haven't made it. I've not watched Love Is Blind. Amazingly.
After shaking down.
There's a legal video. There's a longer one. Trump sues himself, wins, and you have to pay for it. So before we dive into the legal eagle video, we invited Ryan. I'm sorry. I might show up sometime though. Feel free to invite me again. You know, you never know when I might make an appearance. I'm nothing if not inconsistent. Yeah, Eva uninvited me. Paper Cuts by Nirvana is a good song. Bleach is good stuff. There you go. So before we dive into the video, I'm going to copy the link, hop over here, point my finger at Umbreon to get him to stop whining. And then we'll click execute, get the transcript of the video, because we need a new bingo board. Okay, make a new bingo board. Remove the duds, and add some other cool new features, making it more exciting and colorful and engaging somehow. Bam. Did he order the DOJ to settle? Is this regarding his, I guess we're probably going to find out. Your kid just discovered Nirvana? That's exciting. I think we're probably going to learn if that's what happened here. Sorry, just reading random SDMs. Okay. Oh, I like heart-shaped box. I know that one from, is it Guitar Hero or Rock Band? Ooh, this is pretty. It's funny watching children take on things that are like old news, but with their fresh kid minds is funny. Yeah, for sure. I miss teaching kids. Cancel your plans. Oh, you're talking to Sass. 1.5 times. I'm unmedicated. I'll do 1.25 because this is 20 minutes. But all right, so we're watching Legal Eagle. So we made a Legal Eagle bingo card. Our bingo terms are Russia investigation, malicious prosecution, access to justice, ground news, sponsor, discretionary function exception, abuse of process, emoluments clause, Judge Eileen Cannon, sovereign immunity, Pam Bondi, blind spot feature, $230 million. I'll see you in court as our free space. Standard Form 95, Federal Tort Claims Act, FTCA, Chief Justice Roberts Jack Smith, absolute immunity, stolen documents case, statute of limitations, Daniel Epstein, punitive damages, the Mueller report, American taxpayer, and personal injury law firm. Let's get into it.
On CBS, ABC, Google, Meta, and Twitter, Donald Trump has a new target, and it is you and me and every other American taxpayer. Trump wants $230 million from the U.S. Treasury to
$230 million. Is U.S. Treasury one too? I don't think so.
compensate him for the Russia investigation and the stolen documents case.
Stolen documents case.
At a press conference last week, he agreed that it was weird to act as judge and jury in his own case, but he was ready to do it.
And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. But I was damaged very greatly, and any money that I would get, I would give to charity.
There is no lawsuit. There never was. But is it legal for the president to pay himself hundreds of millions of dollars from the U.S. Treasury? And if it's not legal, is there anything that can stop it? Back in 2024, Trump's sweatiest lawyer, Daniel Epstein, went on Fox Business and announced that Trump planned to sue the government over the Florida documents case.
And that's... You already do for stolen documents case. We already got that. He's sexy? Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, Legal Eagle is a sexy motherfucker who's also is a car fan. I think he's a handsome guy. Yeah. He's a good looking dude. Multiplayer will be next level. Ooh. I like the way you think, bargain stuff. In fact, hey, Ryan, future Ryan, this is you. And I think it would be really cool. So this whole stream, we've been doing this little bingo card thing. It's been a lot of fun. It makes watching videos like kind of next level. And I think what might be really cool is if we add a feature to our overlay that potentially the chatters could interact with the bingo card somehow, whether it's from some sort of from a separate interface or through chat messages. I'm not 100% sure. We could maybe have like a kind of like a grid system where it's like A, B, C, D, E, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would identify which piece you want filled in. But then also that might lead to some like trolling where you guys are just filling in all the slots. I don't know. It's I'm not sure. We'll brainstorm that further. But yeah, multiplayer would actually be really cool. So something to think about.
And that's what President Trump believes the entire special counsel investigation was about, interfering with his ability to get elected.
We made a whole video calling it Trump's dumbest suit yet, which was true at the time, but then Trump sued CBS for tortiously editing a video of Kamala Harris, and we had to revise our rankings. Epstein represented Trump on the CBS case too, by the way. The network told Trump to take a hike because the suit was nonsense, but then Trump got elected and made it clear that if CBS's parent company Paramount wanted its merger with Skydance to go through, that lawsuit would need to be settled, which it was for a $16 million donation to Trump's.
No, I don't think Legal Eagle is actually in this video, if that's what you're asking about. You've never seen him? Here.
Thanks to curiosity, but I can't do anything about
this is legal
it because you have to wait 24 hours before you can report a missing person. And it sounds reasonable. It
sounds like a law that actually exists, but
what are you, not cute face? What are you talking about? That's a handsome man. That's an objectively handsome guy. Look at that jawline.
Longtime family friend has been in on the conspiracy from the very beginning. So obviously then you have to take the law into your own hands because you waited 24 hours to report a missing person.
Are you kidding me? That's a good looking dude. I don't care who you are.
Trump's presidential library, which does not exist. But it does have a plane. That was one of the first times that Trump wielded the power of his office to extract cash from his enemies. But it wasn't the last. As we said last year, Epstein did not file a lawsuit. What he filed was a standard Form 95 demanding compensation.
Standard Form 95. Don't think we've done any of the rest of these yet. Oh, I think they mentioned Russia investigation earlier. Eva says he ain't cute. Well, Seth says he looks like a cartoon. He looks AI animated. That's crazy. He looks old too. He might be. I mean, I don't know. That was like a 5-year-old video too.
Compensation under the Federal Tort Claims Act. The FTCA, or FATSA to its friends, is an exception to the rule of sovereign immunity that says you can't sue the government. Sovereign immunity is left over from the time when we had absolute monarchs who were above the law, which existed only to bind a king's subjects. And thanks to the Supreme Court, we're back there again.
Oh, chat is broken. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I've been reading your chats, but not noticing that they're not showing up on screen. But now they are. Yeah, everyone's shitting on Jelly's taste. True. He has the millennial Cupid doll haircut, but that's better than the Gen Z curly mop top thing. I bet his jaw has grown larger since then. Maybe.
Yeah, thanks. Wait for it. FATSA details the situations in which the government waives its sovereign immunity and lets you sue it. In the main, those involve cases of harm to your property or your person. So if the mailman sideswipes your car, or if you get injured at a hospital run by the Veterans Administration, you file an SF-95 with the Postal Service or the VA or whichever agency harmed you. That agency has 6 months to say yes or no to your claim, after which you have a further 6 months to sue. Generally, you can't sue the government for what's known as intentional torts. And this one's a little bit complicated, so let's let the nice folks at the Congressional Research Service walk us through it. An intentional tort is when I did something to you knowing that it was likely to harm you. Under what's known as the intentional tort exception, the
intentional tort exception? Is that what? Oh, that's federal tort. Okay, we're going to get to that, I'm sure, momentarily.
Government cannot be sued for all the stuff Trump says he's getting paid for. No false arrest, malicious prosecution, or abusive process.
So Trump is saying he's suing for these things, but the FTCA, Federal Tort Claims Act, I'm going to go ahead and prematurely check that one because we're obviously reading about it right now.
But there is an exception to the intentional tort exception called the law enforcement proviso, and that does allow plaintiffs to recover for certain intentional torts committed by federal investigative or law enforcement officers. That list includes malicious prosecution and abusive process, which sounds like Trump is in the clear. But In reality, it's almost impossible to recover for intentional torts by the government thanks to what's known as the discretionary function exception, which preserves the federal government's immunity when an employee's acts involve the exercise of judgment or choice. And that exception functionally swallows the rule immunizing prosecutors and police from most lawsuits, because there's a lot of stuff the government has to do by statute. The Bureau of Prisons has to feed prisoners in its custody. The post office has to deliver your mail. That's all non-discretionary. But prosecutorial decisions are quintessentially discretionary. The Attorney General and the Justice Department decide whom to investigate and prosecute and where to allocate their resources. Now, technically...
Oh, malicious prosecution is one of those listed, right? One of the things that the Federal Tort Claims Act prevents the government being sued for.
The discretionary function exception, or DFE, is a two-pronged test. Once courts determine that the allegedly tortious government conduct was discretionary, they ask whether it's potentially influenced by policy considerations. But in reality, courts construe that so broadly that it's almost impossible to win against the government. If the first element of the discretionary function exception is satisfied, then courts will generally presume that the second element is satisfied as well. The Supreme Court has held that when an established governmental policy, as expressed or implied by statute, regulation, or agency guidelines, allows a government agent to exercise discretion, it must be presumed that the agent's acts are grounded in policy when exercising that discretion. According to the Harvard Law Review, in FTC litigation, when the government has invoked the exception at the motion to dismiss stage, it has succeeded in dismissing nearly 75% of claims. So TLDR, it is almost impossible to prevail in court on a FATSA claim, and the deck is heavily stacked against civilians. And by the way, that's even more true when it comes to prosecutors who enjoy broad immunity for their work. Oh, and one more thing. Even if you win your FATSA claim, you can't get punitive damages. So compensatory damages compensate you for your actual harm, and punitive damages are imposed by the court to serve as a disincentive for the plaintiff to do that bad thing again. But FATSA does not permit plaintiffs to punish the government in that way, and that is black letter law. Okay, now that we understand the FTCA, let's talk about Trump's $230 million claim. But first, since we're now living in a world where Trump has near infinite immunity and the law is increasingly being decided in the court of public opinion, almost 400 sources covered the DOJ settlement story, with only a small percentage of right-leaning outlets picking it up. And depending on the sources you follow, it's hard to tell if they were even talking about the same case. And herein lies the danger.
I think we're about to get a Ground News ad, right? Ground News sponsor with the blind spot feature. Did we miss any, by the way? Let's see. Did they talk about the sovereign immunity? I don't think so, not yet. It's okay, we'll come back.
It's not just facts that shape public opinion, it's how those facts are framed. When you scroll down to see how this story is being covered by every outlet, the frames can have subtle differences that make a huge impact. From the left, Trump is demanding the $230 million, and headlines are quick to point out how blatantly corrupt that is. From the right, headlines focus on Trump's speculation that the DOJ probably owes him money for the past cases. And from the center, headlines typically focused on Trump's belief that he has final say in the matter. This type of analysis is why Ground News has been my favorite way to stay up to date with the news since 2020.
Ground News. Oh, we're almost done with this row, or this column.
So I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. They've been a longtime supporter of this channel and independent news media at large.
Cider's in serious mode and we're in chat lusting away. I'm just trying to learn. I have been watching you guys talk too. It's funny.
Ground News is an app and website that helps me see the full picture by pulling in news from thousands of sources worldwide. I can compare coverage and uncover the political bias, reliability, and most importantly, see who owns the sources reporting the news you're reading. And it's not just me. Ground News has even been recognized by the Nobel Peace Center for its impact on media literacy. I also love their blind spot feature, which shows you stories that are underreported by either side of the political spectrum. If you're only getting your news from one or two places, you might miss related stories like this one of House Democrats launching an investigation into Trump's shakedown of the DOJ. Nobody on the right covered it. If you care about true context and evidence like I do, I recommend you check out Ground News. It's the tool I personally rely on to stay on top of breaking news with clarity, and as a legal eaglet, you can get 40% off the unlimited access.
He's got to start flipping the lights off and on. Pay attention, class. Yeah. All right. Listen up, class. Listen up, class. Polygraph says Ground News is good in that it shows balance a bit, but it's a small part of the bigger picture. Sure. That's fair. Jelly says, I'm halfway listening, got my volume up to 20%. Well, thank you for tuning in at least 20%.
Access Vantage plan, the same one I use by scanning the QR code or clicking the link below. By subscribing, you're also supporting an independent news platform that's working to make the media landscape more transparent and balanced. So sign up for Ground News today, and I will see you in court. According to the New York Times, Trump filed 2 separate SF-95 complaints. The first claim, lodged in late 2023, seeks damages for a number of purported violations of his rights, including the FBI and special counsel investigation into Russian election tampering and possible connections to the 2016 Trump campaign, according to people familiar with them.
The first claim lodged, I'm sorry, I'm just going to read this. Lodged in late 2023, seeks damages for a number of purported violations of his rights, including the FBI and special counsel investigation into Russian election tampering. So investigating Russian election tampering is a violation of his rights. And their possible connections to his campaign is a violation of his rights. That's crazy, but okay.
With the matter. So Trump wants $115 million from the Department of Justice related to investigative decisions that it made in 2016, 9 years.
Did you know Robert Mueller's investigation resulted in 8 convictions? In total, 34 individuals and 3 companies were indicted. Most indictments were against Russian operatives who were charged in absentia.
Ago. The investigation continued into 2017 when Trump's own appointees ran the DOJ, and it ended when special counsel Robert Mueller submitted his report in March of 2018, 7 years ago. So Trump is the plaintiff, but he's also the defendant since his own administration is the one that supposedly injured him. Although most defendants have to reach into their own pockets to pay a judgment, and Trump is playing with taxpayer dollars. And, by the way, he's also the judge because he's the one who decides if and how much he gets paid. Okay, there are 1 or 2 teeny tiny problems with this. First, we are long past a time to make a claim on the Russia stuff, both because the statute of limitations and because of FATSA's requirement that the injured party has to file suit within 6 months of having his claim denied. Second, which of the intentional torts under the FTCA exceptions is Trump claiming here? It can't be malicious prosecution since Trump was never prosecuted. I guess he's arguing abuse of process, which doesn't really fit either. The test for abuse of process in D.C. was laid out in a case called Jacobson v. Thrifty Paper Boxes. It involves some sort of judicial or criminal proceeding
Why does this sound like a very weird reparations for being guilty? Because it probably is, Jelly. Because it probably is exactly that.
initiated or exploited to accomplish some end which is without the regular purview of the process, or which compels the party against whom it is used to do some collateral thing which he could not legally and regularly be required to do. The end of the investigation into Russian interference with Trump's campaign was the Mueller report, which was mandated by the special counsel statute. And Mueller didn't compel Trump to do anything. Trump wouldn't even sit for an interview.
Did the president refuse a request to be interviewed by you and your team?
Yes.
Yes. And is it true that you tried for more than a year to secure an interview with the president?
Yes.
And anyway, the Inspector General's report determined that the investigation was appropriately predicated. And third, Trump was in the White House for most of the time. If the DOJ was so out of control when he was in charge of the executive branch, whose fault is that? The New York Times published Trump's second SF-95, so we don't have to guess at the content of that one.
The Florida case. This is about the documents case?
Premise here is that the search on Mar-a-Lago in August of 2022 constituted an abusive process, and any prosecution based on the fruits of that search was a malicious prosecution, and so Trump would like $115 million, please. Maybe the best way to think about this document is like those old deductive reasoning exercises.
She does have great hair. I agree.
You know, the ones where they say, all dogs are mammals, cats are mammals, therefore cats are dogs. I believe
that's actually true. Cats are dogs. So
that fallacy is called affirming the consequent. So no, you can't stack up a pile of true statements and say, Eureka, I have proved something that is objectively false. Or you can unless you're Daniel Epstein. His argument rests on the claim that the search on Mar-a-Lago was illegal. In fact, it was conducted pursuant to a judicially authorized warrant issued because the government demonstrated probable cause to believe that Trump was hiding national defense information.
It was very legal, in fact.
And classified documents in his private club.
Which was not legal, in fact.
Which he was. Epstein points to internal dissent at the Justice Department, particularly testimony by Stephen D'Antuono, the former assistant director at the FBI's Washington field office.
White monster. Caffeine time. Where's he getting this $115 million from? I'm not sure.
Who said that he would have preferred to seek Trump's permission to search the property rather than executing a non-consensual warrant. Which is true. He did say that, but D'Antuono was not the FBI director and he wasn't the attorney general. That's like
so many boxes that they were instructed to move after requesting to return them. He instructed someone to move them, which is crazy.
like saying the regional manager disagreed with the CEO, and that's proof that the CEO was wrong. D'Antuono was an experienced guy, but it was not his call. How to conduct that search was an exercise of discretion, and for the record, D'Antuono was very clear about that in his testimony. He said several times during that hearing that the search was neither illegal nor against DOJ policy. He just thought it would have been better to do it a different way. Weirdly, though, Epstein...
So, wait, so there's something he said. He said that they probably, like, he would have recommended there was a different way to do it. And so people are using that as evidence that he thought it was wrong to do. And then he clarifies saying it wasn't anything I saw, or it wasn't anything that I saw was against policy or procedure. It was perfectly fine for us to do. So that counters anybody who's pushing that narrative, which is good to be prepared for. Sass says the astrology hoes on Twitter are saying Trump is going to be dead by November. Good to know, Sass. Good to know. We love our astrology hoes. Libra astrology reading. All right, let's check out our horoscope for today. Should we do this every day on stream? Read my horoscope. Libra daily horoscope. Relationship challenges could throw you off balance this morning, darling Libra. I don't think they have. I think things are good. As the Capricorn, but I mean, maybe I should send a text to make sure. As the Capricorn moon, Chiron and Jupiter form a harsh T-square. Lead with compassion and remind your counterpart to do the same so healing can be achieved. Invest in your health when Mars and Saturn activate this afternoon. I had Taco Bell, so that's debatable. Considering which behaviors you can adjust to give your body more energy. I probably should be exercising. I didn't really exercise today. Enjoy a quiet yet productive evening at home while Mercury and Neptune are in motion, making your space a true sanctuary. Does that mean that I should end the stream early tonight? You'll perk up later tonight once Luna enters Aquarius, forming mystical connections with Uranus and Pluto. Keep a dream journal next to your bed and document any epiphanies that come to you. Maybe I will. Libra men are not the same. Damn.
Against DOJ policy. He just thought it would have been better to do it a different way. Weirdly, though, Epstein left out that part in his complaint. Cats.
My girl's a Libra, so we're double Libra'd up.
Are not dogs. The malicious prosecution charge is similarly bizarre. Under Florida law, there are 6 elements to a malicious prosecution claim, and 2 of them are super problematic for the president. First, there has to have been no probable cause for the legal action, and here, 2 grand juries concluded that there was. Remember, there was 1 grand jury for the original indictment, and then a second one for the superseding indictment that added obstruction charges for that plot to destroy the evidence. Second, the plaintiff in a malicious prosecution case has to prove...
Why are you saying oof? I read it. There's good compatibility there. I mean, there are some issues. W Team Libra. Libra on Libra violence. I don't think so. I think we are very well balanced, I would say. Taurus gang go brr. Yeah, here, Umbreon. You're a dork.
To prove that he was the prevailing party. And while Judge Eileen Cannon did dismiss the case based on the theory that Special Counsel Jack Smith was illegally appointed, that did not make Trump the prevailing party. That was a collateral.
She did 2, right? She did Jack Smith as well?
Charges for that plot to destroy the evidence. Second, the plaintiff in a malicious prosecution case has to prove that he was the prevailing party. And while Judge Eileen Cannon did dismiss the case based on the theory that Special Counsel
based on Special Agent
Special Jack Smith was illegal.
I'm sorry. Special what?
Prevailing party. And while Judge Eileen Cannon did dismiss the case based on the theory that Special Counsel Jack Smith was illegally appointed.
Special Counsel, yeah. My bad. Jack Smith. If they are both gentle Libras, they'll be great. I think there's something to that. I've dated Libra once. If you do break up, there's a good chance it'll go well. 2 chill vibes, peacing out. Well, I hope we don't. I feel good about it. I mean, it's early. It's early. We only just started dating, but I've got a good feeling. Okay. We talked about the Mueller report, right? She mentioned the Mueller report. Pretty sure. Libra men, leave us alone.
That did not make Trump the prevailing party. That was a collateral ruling, not a ruling on the merits. It's also a theory of special counsels that's been rejected in every other court to consider it, including the Supreme Court. But Daniel Epstein is still adding up cats and dogs to equal marmosets. He says that the fact that a court later determined that the special counsel's appointment was illegal, quote, reflects an absence of probable cause for the events leading to the indictment. That's a very careful fudge. Epstein knows that he can't blame Smith for the circumstances of the Mar-a-Lago search in August of 2022, since Smith wasn't even appointed until November. And so he says that Smith's illegal appointment means that the jury never found probable cause to indict, a sentence which refutes itself if you say it out loud. Epstein goes on to say that Attorney General Merrick Garland should have known that the Supreme Court was going to rule that the president was immune from prosecution for official acts.
So we're getting to sovereign immunity and absolute immunity, right? Presumably.
So facto, the prosecution was malicious. He does not explain how presidential immunity would apply to a private citizen storing classified documents in his shower and refusing to give them back despite repeated requests and subpoenas for more than a year. In short, cats plus dogs equals cauliflower. But in some sense, treating this like a real legal claim gives it more consideration than it deserves.
Not saying you're going to break up, just speaking from my personal experience. I hope you two keep liberating together. Thank you for the well wishes. I hope so as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the positivity. Gentile Libras don't exist. That's anti-Semitic, Eva. So chill. Can you calm down with the anti-Semitism?
Deserves. This is Trump ordering the government to hand him hundreds of millions of dollars and his handpicked cronies saying, yes, sir. The mechanics of this payoff are equally outrageous. BATS's settlements must be approved by the agency's senior leadership. Here, that's Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Associate Attorney General Stanley Woodward. Blanche represented Trump in the Florida documents case, and Woodward represented Trump's co-defendant, Walton Nauta. To say that they are conflicted is a massive understatement, and their boss, Attorney General Pam Bondi, was also Trump's...
What's the name? Scam Blondie. Scam Blondie. That's it. Scam Blondie. Pam Bondi. Scam Blondie. Anyway, my brain just completely fucking broke. Gentle and Gentile, aren't we all?
Trump's personal lawyer before taking this gig, so it would be wildly inappropriate for her to sign off on this deal. The Times asked the DOJ if Bondi, Woodward, and Blanche would recuse themselves from the decision. DOJ spokesman Chad Gilmartin said, in any circumstance, all officials at the Department of Justice follow the guidance of career ethics officials, which might be reassuring if Bondi hadn't fired the senior career ethics official at the DOJ in July. And then there's the amount of the award. Epstein's complaint demands $15 million in...
Here we go. Here's the $15 million number.
Actual harm due to his legal costs in defending the special counsel proceedings before the U.S. District Court for the
But it's 150. So is 100 million separate from that?
Southern District of Florida. 15 million is a suspiciously round number, and Epstein isn't showing his work, but he does drop a footnote that proves that Trump didn't pay his own legal fees anyway. That money was paid by donors to his campaign and political action committees, as Todd Blanche knows, since he was the one cashing the checks. So Trump is demanding the government hand over taxpayer dollars to pay him back for money he never spent in the first place. But remember,
that's wild.
Remember when I said that punitive damages are categorically barred by the Federal Tort Claims Act? This document demands $100 million in punitive damages anyway.
For these harms to President Trump, the respondents must pay punitive damages of $100 million.
Add in the $100 million he's asking for the Russia investigation, and Trump's own lawyers are going to hand him $200 million in taxpayer dollars for punitive.
$200 million in taxpayer dollars, American taxpayer dollars. That's so fucking wild.
Damages that it is flatly illegal to pay. For comparison, the government paid out $550 million in.
I mean, I know it's almost like just completely pointless to say this at this point. But can you imagine if Joe Biden pulled this shit? Can you? Oh, God. Rest in peace, Joe Biden. I miss him. He was a good man.
Total claims under the Federal Tort Claims Act in 2022. That's upwards of 3,000 Americans who got into fender benders with the government or suffered a medical injury in a VA hospital or were actually the victims of law enforcement misconduct. And that's the people who managed to get paid. As we said, is very difficult to recover. Who got into fender benders with the government or suffered a medical injury in a VA hospital or were actually the victims of law enforcement misconduct. And that's the people who managed to get paid. As we said, is very difficult to recover under the FTCA for anything that isn't a simple traffic accident. Personal injury litigator Nima Rahmani
Personal injury. Oh, she hasn't said law firm, but she's probably about to.
Co-founder of West Coast Employment Lawyers, told The Hill that he had handled hundreds and hundreds of such claims and had never had one be accepted. You make your claim, it's denied, and you file your lawsuit. Senator Lindsey Graham, a staunch Trump ally, says that the president has a right to make a claim if he was wrong, but that's ignoring the fact that thousands of people with much better claims than Trump's are getting rejected every single day. And it completely ignores that Trump's $230 million demand dwarfs anyone else's FTCA award by hundreds of millions of dollars. The New York Times highlights the case of George Redis Jr., a combat veteran of the U.S. Army who was beaten and detained by ICE agents during raids in California in July.
Oof.
Redis.
Actually, I want to, this reminds me, I want to make, hey, future Ryan, when you're reviewing this stream, reminder that something I would really like to do. I'm sorry for scaring you. Boo! A reminder that something, oh yeah, Joe Biden's not dead. No, I say that all the time. I'm always like, rest in peace, Joe Biden. He's dead in spirit. All right. Actually, Joe Biden's been talking about how scary, right now is, like, what a terrifying moment we're in, which I appreciate. But fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, reminder to future Ryan that something I want to make is an app or a database of some sort, or something documenting all of the just ICE's crimes, basically, like the way like ICE mistreating people, ICE like the American citizens that are being arrested, people who are being just ICE. I don't know the exact word. ICE mischief might be a whimsical way to put it. I want to start tracking this, and I'm sure there are groups doing something about this already, so I might have to investigate and see like what exists. But I want to do a better job of tracking and illustrating just like all of the insane things that ICE is getting up to. So,
that veteran of the U.S. Army,
we can call it the misadventures of ICE,
who was beaten and detained by ICE agents during raids in California in July. Redis says he was trying to get to work, stated plainly that he was a U.S. citizen, and was tear-gassed, pepper-sprayed, locked up for 3 days without being able to wash the chemical irritants off his body, and then released without compensation for his shattered car window. That guy is highly unlikely to recover if he sues because the government will invoke the discretionary function exception. And Trump wants to say that he's entitled to $230 million without even...
When you look at that missions, that's a mission. Like in the message you sent me, is that what you're talking about? ICE-related misconduct, yeah.
When having to go into court. So, who can put a stop to this? Well, probably no one. The Hill reports that Republican senators are disconcerted by this potential illegal payout. Democratic Representatives Jamie Raskin and Brad Garcia have launched an investigation into what they call a blatantly illegal and unconstitutional effort to steal $230 million from the American people.
Yeah, which is what it is. Either take an existing solution and support it, then work with the people to determine what's missing, and then update, replace. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's something I've been thinking a lot about. So that is a project that we will be taking on in the future, and I will demonstrate how I want to approach that. We'll obviously do a lot of it live, but I'll do some of it in the background as well.
They note that the Constitution's emoluments clause bars the president from receiving any payment.
Emoluments clause. Boop. This is making me not want to get on my flight back to the U.S. Yeah, I mean, it's a scary time. I don't know what to say.
From the federal government or any of the states, except for his salary, which is currently fixed by law at $4.
You saw ICE block was removed also? No, I did not see that. Oh, wait, which? No, I don't think I did. Which block?
$100,000 per year. Democratic lawyer Norm Eisen promises to file a lawsuit to block the payout.
If he breaks the law, he will be held accountable, and so will those who are enabling this behavior. If he does it, there will be legal accountability.
But the Supreme Court was pretty hostile to emoluments clause cases the last time Trump was in the White House, mostly tossing them on standing grounds. Plus, thanks to the Supreme Court's immunity decision, Trump can never face prosecution for this act of naked abuse of office. No one can even ask him about it in court. I believe we covered all this last year. The most likely plan here is for Trump to enjoy the fun news cycle, which got Daniel Epstein some airtime, and allowed Team Trump to pretend to be standing up to the Biden DOJ. And then, if Trump loses in November, we'll never hear anything about this misbegotten plan again.
Oh, remember before the election? It feels like it was so long ago. It's not even been a year. It hasn't even been a year. Feels like a lifetime, dude. Oh.
But if he wins, then Trump can file his claim and simply order the Justice Department to pay it. He can tell whatever obsequious crony replaces Attorney General Garland to cut him a check for $100 million. And it won't
Scam Blondie.
matter that it's wildly illegal, because thanks to the Supreme Court, a president enjoys absolute immunity for official acts. He could make the number 200 million or $1 billion, and there would be nothing anybody could do about it. This is almost certainly going to happen, and there's probably nothing anyone can do about it. In fact, we might not learn about it until a year after the fact, since FTCA payouts are only disclosed in end-of-year reports. So, once again, thanks, Chief Justice Roberts.
Now, all this highlights why it's so important.
Chief Justice Roberts. So there's like 5 more. Umbreon, no. No, sir.
Important to get a great lawyer when you're dealing with your own case. Now, after I started this channel, every week I'd get hundreds of comments and emails from
Umbreon, stop.
viewers who are dealing with legal problems. And they'd ask, can you help me find a lawyer? How do I know if this attorney is any good? And there's a massive gap in our justice system. It's that people don't know how to find the right lawyer for their specific situation. They're scared, they're overwhelmed, and they end up doing nothing or hiring the first attorney who calls them back. And that really bothered me. So I started to wonder, what if there was a different way? What if we could build a law firm that actually lived up to the values that I talk about on this channel: transparency, accessibility, and putting clients first instead of chasing billable hours. A firm where you don't need to pay anything up front, and your lawyers only get paid if you do, to maximize your opportunity for justice. So a few years ago, I decided to fix that problem. I decided to start my own personal injury law firm. And honestly,
Personal injury law firm. So we missed a few, I think. So we'll go back through the transcript. Yeah, but what was the ice block that was removed? I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
it wasn't an easy choice. But I realized I was in this unique position than starting a law practice, but Russian roulette with your future. And if we can't represent you, or you're in some of the best lawyers in the country, so if you're dealing with call or the incredible legal issue, and put the right lawyer alone.
Okay, so let's go back to the transcript and find the ones we missed. He has an OnlyFans? Yo, Jelly. Good news. Legal Eagle has an OnlyFans. Oh, let's see. Access to justice is one we missed. Access to justice.
Because access to justice.
Well, that was what I just skipped over. And it's
shouldn't be a luxury. Because finding.
So that's an easy one. What about sovereign immunity? Sovereign immunity. Oh, it was super early.
Claims Act. The FTCA, or FATSA to its friends, is an exception to the rule of sovereign immunity that says you can't sue the government.
Rule of sovereign immunity. Not punitive damages. Punitive damages.
Your FATSA claim, you can't get punitive damages. So compensatory damages compensate you for your actual harm, and punitive damages.
And I thought I heard the Mueller, but I.
Russian interference with Trump's campaign was the Mueller report, which was mandated by the special counsel statute. And Mueller didn't compel Trump to do anything. Trump wouldn't even sit for an interview.
That's right. There we go. Bingo. Legal Eagle. Bingo. Thanks, Legal Eagle. How are we doing? Let's see. Short Stack put something in the back, but I do have a few more videos I was going to watch, but maybe we'll take a actual break. And I might go live again in a little bit. God, it's almost 9 o'clock already. That's crazy. Maybe we'll come back and do like a open panel or like panel hop. Thank you, Michelle. I've been going for 4 hours. That's not bad. Not exactly the most profitable stream, but it's been fun. How's the 7 bands? I don't know where they are. but we're working on it. I like we got 34 likes. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nifty. I like that a lot. And I appreciate all the support we do get. Let's see who else is live. I do have a couple more videos, but I think that we can probably cover those tomorrow or do something later. Umbreon, no. No. No, no, no. Here, let me look at my mini thumbs. Mini thumbs, thank you, Sass. Let's see, redirect. Since generally it's not about building everything, it's about focusing efforts. Wait, is that a follow-up to something? No. Is there another message that's following up on? Or are you about to... Is that the first half of a sentence? I don't... Since generally it's not about building everything, it's about... Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with that sentiment, obviously. Umbreon, please. I think I am gonna end for now. We'll probably go live again in like an hour or so. Yes, baby Umbreon. Thank you, Eva. I'm sending you guys to Queeman because he was shit talking me the other day, and I think it'll be funny to rate him. So, yeah. That's all I got. Drink some water. Pet your wiener dog. If you don't have a wiener dog, what are you doing? Get a wiener dog. And learning is radical and all that jazz. Go in the Queenman's chat and tell him learning is radical. And Umbreon and I will probably be back in a little bit, and we'll do some panel hopping and stuff. He wasn't really shit talking me. He did. Here, I'll play the clip. Before we go. Here. Thank you, Umbreon. Here.
Big lefty star, and Rob is right there to smack their ass right back down and says, "No, you're not."
Wait, who is going to be like a big lefty star on these fucking panels? What has even been said here? Radical? You think Radical Coder? Radical Coder hasn't gone anywhere in the last fucking 8 years he's been doing this.
Big lefty star, and Rob is...
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, he's not entirely wrong, but he is wrong because I have not been doing what I'm doing right now for the last 8 years. In fact, I was doing very, very little compared to what I'm doing now for the past 8 years. And I was not monetized until just a few months ago. And I've been, it's not, it's nothing too crazy. I think it's good to remind people that I exist. And, I think this is an interesting bridge to burn, or not. Sorry, not a bridge to burn. No. Don't burn the bridge. An interesting bridge to build. Okay, not because like I think Queeman's like a great person or whatever. I think Queeman has a softer spot that I outside his edgy hard shell, and I actually have a soft spot in my heart for the guy as well. So I'm gonna send you guys over there. Tell him learning is radical. Well, Trib, he was kind of talking about me in this context, but I see what you're saying. But anyway, no, don't light your. He does not. Well, look, to each their own. I think so. Yeah, Quee has moments. I think so too. I think when he covers politics, I think he actually does. I think he does really well. Yeah, go burn the bridge. Hey, Kuro. Well, you're about to be lurking in Queeman's chat because I'm sending you guys to Queeman. Okay, love you guys. Bye. I'll see you in a little bit. Have a good night until I see you again. And then hopefully you still are having a good night at that point.
Thank you for the raid.